And with that, the Belching Toad Academy is officially open for its very first lesson. Hello, everyone. Hello. It is I, Lloyd Towner. Today I am the student. I am being taught Pathfinder by the expert. You all know her. You all love her. It's the Pathfinder goblin with the hentai physics, Phoebe Bain. Why don't you introduce yourself, Phoebe?
And howdy everybody, I am Phoebe Bain, Goblin Agus vtuber extraordinaire. I have all sorts of tabletop games over on my channel, like Pathfinder, Lancer, Fabula Ultima, and everything between. And you can find me everywhere at Phoebe Bain.
And I'm going to go ahead and give your Twitch a shout out. And if y'all are watching on the YouTube end, I do have both her Twitch and her YouTube linked in the description. Unfortunately, YouTube no longer allows me to... Oh God, okay, I'm going to die. First day of school, and I'm already getting shut down dead. This really is an American Academy. Well, Phoebe, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad I was able to spend my last moments in this earthly coil with you.
Of course, someone has to teach people how to play games.
Alright, I'll be right back. There's a knock on my door. Let me go chase them off.
Have fun.
I'll be right back. You entertain the chat.
So chat, how are you all today? I hope you guys are ready to learn, because I brought a whole fucking PowerPoint presentation because I thought it'd be funny. That's not the wrong book. This is the correct book. Oh, it's the player core. Heck you. It's got all the rules in it. Oh, heck you. Also, if this PowerPoint is shitty, it's because I haven't had to do one in over a decade. That's right, I'm old. Not too old. I don't think I'm as old as Krusty Dice Bard, but I'm still up there now, almost. Well, the robotic version of Dice just told me something that it might be taking a little longer. I didn't hear the explanation because he died. So yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of tabletop stuff. I'm going to be using it from a comparison point from D&D 5e because that's where this Skrunkler is most familiar and what I assume a lot of you guys are most familiar with. So I'll be comparing back and forth between the two games, showing what is similar, what is different, and going over basic rule stuff. That's fun. Here on Session 90 Minutes playing Elf Barbarian, D&D or Pathfinder. And as long as you're as young as as long as your age is in 2 digits. Well, you see, here's the thing: goblins only live up to 50 years, so I'm already past middle age. I'm gonna die. Give me a second. I forgot to make my announcement that I'm actually doing this because I'm dumb. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So sorry if I ignore chat for just a second. Where is it? Video. More. Oh, where is the link? There it is. Oops, just killed chat. Hoopy doops. There we go. 5e, sorry. You should be sorry. How dare you play D&D in my presence? Oh, there we go. Right now, Bar died immediately. Good. The one time I GM'd for my friend and I killed their gnome immediately. So, although it was because we were playing a very unbalanced, broken adventure made for the playtest that was not fully tested with the actual rules, and I kind of killed them. But it's okay because we restarted and it went better.
Okay, I am so sorry about that. My paw's dog left mysterious blood splatters all over the kitchen floor, but we can't actually find where he was bleeding from. But he had acted like he's hurt, so we're just gonna keep a close eye on him. I have no idea what that was all about. Yeah, terribly, terribly sorry about that. That was very poorly timed. Ugh. Ugh. All right, what did I miss after getting murdered?
I was just telling them what to expect, as well as being mean to you.
Wow, rude. I thought we were friends, Phoebes.
You're an associate at best.
I just want love. That's all I want.
Better roll the dice, see what you get.
Love from a bouncy goblin. You know, you better be careful being me, because like I can literally just dribble you like a basketball and slam dunk you in the playground outside.
Why is that everyone's first fucking thing they want to do with me?
Well, that's not the first thing I want to do with you, but Twitch would allow me to say the first thing.
Like every time I go to chat, they're like, "Wow, you got what's that mean?" And it's like, you're bouncing." They're like, "Basketball."
Basketball. Listen, you're the one who put so much emphasis on the fact that Pathfinder goblins are bouncy, stretchy, and tough. Like, you are basically perfectly built for contact sports as the ball. Playing the sport, I don't know. I can't think of any sport where being.
I'm balling, literally.
Oh, you know that meme of like, like the person just like fucking running over to the basketball hoop and dunking a person into it?
Mm-hmm.
We need to make that me dunking you. And just like you do with the Kirby, fall down the crevice. Oh, I'm gonna have to boot up the video editor after this.
I thought was maybe.
But all right, yeah. So, for those of you who do not know, we a while ago did a series of charity streams on this channel for the I forget the name of the charity. Was it Trans Life? Yeah, Trans Life.
Wow.
The Trans Lifeline. We did a series of charity streams for the Trans Lifeline, and you guys earned enough money for one of the goals of Phoebe here teaching me how to play Pathfinder. She was very kind enough to agree to doing this. Like, this might be on my channel, but make no mistake, she's the one doing all the work here. I am just an empty sponge here to soak up the knowledge she bestows upon me. I remember Goblin Jaw attack damage. No way you would try to throw her. Joke's on you, I'm into that. I'm surprised. We've been here for like what, 10 minutes, and you haven't bitten me once. You're losing your edge, Phoebe.
It's because I know you'd be into it, so it's not as fun.
I mean, I would absolutely hate it if a cute little goblin girl bit me right now. That would be the absolute worst. I would absolutely hate it if a goth goblin girl just came over and knobbed on my arm. That would be the worst thing ever. The exact opposite of what I would want.
Tsukiyomi, don't be a coward. It's only, 46 plus 10 plus sneak attack plus cold plus any spell strike.
I love how I get completely dodged on that.
Mhm.
Just honing in on the cowardly chat. It should have been me, not him. But yeah, Phoebe did have to do a lot of securing down the homestead, and she did bitch she's kind of tired. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get right into the lesson, so that Oh yeah, you. I saw that excitement. All right, we're gonna be learning some Pathfinder today. I promise to be a very, very good student. All right, I am actually a genius. My intelligence is the number that comes after 3, so I learned good. I learned it good.
Oh, you ready
Ta-da!
to start?
Magic
Yay!
slideshow.
I made a PowerPoint. I haven't made a PowerPoint since I was in high school, so I did my best.
Oh, same. Also, hello there, dramatic gaming. Another soul joins the PF2 Legions. That's her goal here. That's her goal. So I've actually been pretty fed up with Wizard of the Coast's bullshit. So this is actually Phoebe's peak opportunity to actually convert a D&D nerd over to Pathfinder. Yeah, but yeah, no, she is
That's
a bit
my
of an
secret
EP.
dramatic. I'm always EP.
Is there a single, like, tabletop RPG VTuber who isn't always sleepy? Every single tabletop RPG themed VTuber I know, whether they actually do tabletop content or they're just themed after tabletop, we're always fucking sleepy. Do y'all have any idea how much I spend on Red Bull? Because I don't. I don't want to look at the number. I'm kind of scared to know what it is. That being
Just do what
said,
I do and live your life raw. Just no caffeine. Just peepees.
that's the one kind of raw dog and I ain't trying to do.
That's because you're a coward.
Listen. I didn't put points into Constitution, okay? I can't just power through like that. I need a little buff.
This boy's fragile.
I put all my points into being a fine piece of ass. I am a support caster. I stay in the back line. I do a little hey diddle diddle, and I make the party strong. I make the enemies weak, and occasionally I seduce a dragon. All right, I'm not built to raw dog the world. Just raw dog the dragons. Your DM almost never sleeps. He's just built different though. I do know one tiefling who literally only sleeps 4 hours a night, and that just seems to be like what her sleep schedule does. Like they call those people like the sleepless elite. There's just some people, they just get all they need off of just 4 hours a night, and goddamn am I jealous. I'll be sitting here sleeping fucking 17 hours a day, and I still feel tired.
I don't sleep because I forget to sleep.
So you forgot to feed yourself before stream, and you forget to sleep.
Listen, I've been trying to 100% Hyrule Warriors. That's like 1,000+ hours.
We need to hire you a goblin handler, and that is a position I am very qualified for and very willing. You know, I'm recently unemployed, so I have availability. I'm just saying. No, not Melissa. Callie. Callie only sleeps 4 hours a day. But yeah,
I know too many tieflings. We gotta start getting rid of some of you.
I'm just saying I was here first. Just
because you're crusty and old, that means you should get rid of first. Let the young live and thrive.
Nah, man, I was here first. I'll pull the ladder up behind me. Y'all gonna keep calling me a boomer? I'm gonna act like a boomer. Pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy my early victory.
Also, I made this PowerPoint while I was sleepy, so I might have missed a couple things I might chat about that's not like popping up on there.
Well, the best thing about this is I know absolutely nothing about Pathfinder. So if you miss anything, I'm not gonna know. As far as I am aware, you are a genius dispensing unfathomable wisdom upon me, when in actuality, you're skipping like 100 pages at a time. How the fuck am I gonna know? I ain't gonna read it. I can't read. My intelligence is the number that comes after 3.
I can't believe you're almost brain dead.
What do you mean almost?
What judging by the amount of trauma you have when you get bonked on the head?
The amount of times my chat has stabbed me in the skull. I literally have members of chat, that's how they say hello and I love you, is they just stab me in the skull. My intelligence used to be higher before I started all this. Why did I say anything? Maybe I was where all the blood in the kitchen came from. Fuck.
I win.
My intelligence is the number that comes after 2. Yours missed. Yours caught me on the cheek. You listen. Look, y'all want to know
You
how I
gave him a
got
cool
these
scar. You made it awful. You gave him something.
You want to know how I got these scars?
You gave him like
Twitch
the
chat.
random sexy like book talk fan romantasy face scar that every dude has, or like it access the jawline perfectly somehow.
Just when I thought I couldn't get any more devilishly handsome. Thank you, Star Blue.
Oh yeah, we should probably start because I forgot I have to be the one to talk.
Yeah, as I said, like you did all the work on this. Like I was like, hey, do you need me to do anything for this? Do you need me to do anything for this? And you're like, no, I got it. I got it. It's like you did all the work here. I'm gonna have to follow your lead. Usually, I'm the one leading goblins, but you know, I'm not against a little bit of role reversal.
I'm the Pied Piper, but for weird men.
You didn't have to call me out like this. Like, you're right. You are entirely correct. But you didn't have to call me out like this in my own tavern.
Oh yeah, welcome to Tabletop Teachies with me, Phoebe.
And me, Lloyd Tafter. The sponge. I'll be soaking up all the goblin knowledge.
We're just going to be starting off with the similarities to D&D, because there are still some, because they're based on stuff, although they're not as many as you might assume outwardly.
Didn't they get rid of some of the things that were shared between the two of them after the OGL fiasco last year?
We'll get to that in a little bit, because they changed a lot of, mostly terminology. Some monsters had to get changed or gotten rid of, and other stuff like that. Yeah, no, they starting out, they have the same type of theming. They are both high fantasy, heroic, action-y games with a focus, like rules focus on combat and stuff like that. You kill monsters, you get $, you spend $, on things to help you kill monsters. There are still rules for stuff like diplomacy stuff, or crafting, or escapes and infiltrations, but it's still mainly based around combat. And that's what you're gonna find. And it's still the same D20 based system. You just roll a dice, add any relevant modifiers against a DC set by the GM, or that's part of the monster stuff, whether that be a saving throw, AC, perception DC, etc., etc.
See, the D20 is great
So
because
this-
I actually come pre-equipped for any D20 system. I am pre-equipped.
I'm gonna take it.
No, that's mine. That is mine. That is literally the only thing keeping me alive, also. Like, it is it is an extremely powerful reality-altering artifact, but almost the entirety of its power is being used manipulating probability to keep me alive. Like, look at me. Look how stitched up I am. Do you think it's natural for me to be living right now?
Probably. Flesh warping is pretty common.
Not in D&D.
I can't believe you don't have the Nexian flesh forges.
That was the most horrifying statement I've ever heard. Tell me more.
We'll get to that.
I want to hear about the
There's a
cool
lot of fucked up shit
necromancer
that happens
bullshit.
in. Yeah, well, that's not the necromancer. They fight the necromancers with the flesh forging.
Oh my
How
god,
best
that
you
sounds so
combat
edgy. I
armies of
love it.
zombies other than having fucked up body horror creatures you create out of volunteers quotations.
How have I not started playing Pathfinder earlier? Do you have any idea
Yeah, that's
how
just one area.
up my alley that edgy bullshit is? Look at me.
Mhm.
I'm a fucking edgelord.
I might as well do a baby history lesson just so you could, because it's my favorite area of the game. There are two kingdoms, one called Geb, one called Nex. Each one is ruled by a immortal wizard, one called Geb, one called Nex. Yes, they named it after themselves. They're assholes. What do you expect? They're wizards.
Fucking wizards, man.
Geb, very super powerful necromancer. Nex, just a general all-around super powerful wizardy dude. Geb and Nex hate each other. Nex showed up on Geb's turf to make his Geb showed up, made a kingdom. Nex showed up slightly like a couple miles out, made a kingdom, and they're like, "Hey, fuck you." No, hey, fuck you. And then they started throwing hands, and the type of hands you throw when you are like 20th level immortal wizards, and just throw so much shit.
I don't think wizards
So
throw
much shit to the
hands.
point
They're
where
too squishy for that.
a lot of fucked up stuff happens. Like in between their two kingdoms is the area known as the Mana Wastes, where so much magical raw bullshit has happened that it is a horrifying wasteland of raw primal magics just floating around. There's random pockets of anti-magic. There's just a lot of mutants and a lot of fucky shit going on in there. It's not a good time.
Sounds like a great time to me. Why don't we get games
And then-
based on that location?
We do. There's a
do?
couple.
Video games?
Oh, no, not video game.
Oh.
There's a lot of campaigns set over there.
I love body horror monsters. Also, dramatic gaming over here with building a bazooka works too. In comparison to diplomacy, I think we found the artificer. Yeah, this is kind of sound like a high fantasy TF2.
Oh, yeah, they just hate each other a lot. And then at one point, Geb, Nex pretty much magically nuked all of Geb's citizens. So pretty much they're all dead. Geb's a necromancer. He didn't care. He brought them back. So now Geb is in the entirety, for the most part, is a nation of exclusively undead. And then, so in return, Geb destroyed all of the crops of Nex. It just goes back and forth between them doing more and more fucked up stuff. The amount of wish spells they threw at each other is what created the mana wastes. They just kept wishing for horrible, awful stuff to be happening.
And these are the only two kingdoms of the setting?
No, there's a lot of kingdoms. These are in one specific area.
I was gonna say, this sounds like some
They're
like
towards the
borderline
southeast, and there's a lot
Warhammer
of bad stuff in the middle.
It's like, oh yeah, there's two kingdoms. They're both horrible. They both do war crimes against each other, and they do their own citizens too. Why not? Fuck it, we don't care. What are you gonna do? Live with the mutants?
Yeah, so Geb resurrects those citizens and zombies to throw at, like, another undead to throw at Nex, doing what Nex does best by being a weird magical asshole, conscripts, finds volunteers, quotations, political opponents of that into the flesh forges to become horrible, flesh-warped freakazoid beasts of, like, war. They just kind of go at it until they both just like started super nuking each other, which made Nex, the wizard, flee into a demiplane that he has never come out of, which caused Geb to go crazy because the one dude he was throwing hands with for almost 1,000 years just disappeared, and he's so paranoid that he's going to come back and do some fuck shit that he ended up like committing self-die, and then came back as a ghost with unfinished business, just wandering around his own kingdom aimlessly.
So this sounds a lot like the relationship between Batman and Joker, except they're both Joker.
Yeah, and now like both kingdoms are just run by other people now because both their leaders kind of disappeared forever, except until like really recently in the lore. where Geb snapped out of it, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, he's fucking becoming a normal dude again," and he's just a ghost leading a bunch of stuff because he feels that Next may be coming back soon. And the next book that's gonna have all the new classes in it seems to be like leading up to Geb and Next having a giant war between each other again. And so it's like a whole thing. Also in the middle of Geb and Next, in the center of the Mana Waste, there's a cowboy town called Alkenstar.
Wait, people are actually living in the wastes?
Yeah, because people lived there before they started throwing hands.
And they
just threw hands over the people.
And they didn't go like, oh man, this entire place is fucked. Everything we grow tries to eat us. The monsters have extra heads and arms.
Mm-hmm.
People are growing appendages we don't even have names for. We should probably move. Nah, they're like, you know what this calls for? Some rootin' and tootin'.
Literally, because they live in a giant pocket, like a little, like one of the anti-magic bubbles that popped up. They have a cowboy town in there, and they figured out how to create guns. Because how else? Because they can't use magic to fight these hordes. So how do they do it? They found a gun.
You want to know what's weird? Before I settled on being a bard, I considered being an undead cowboy VTuber, and now I'm really thinking I should have gotten into Pathfinder earlier, because that would have been a perfect match. Yo, that sounds cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's my favorite area. And we're going to be delving into it in lore in like the next coming year, I think.
Yeah, I think after this stream, we got to link me to the books that have this information, so that when I start buying stuff, I know where to start. Because this is my that is my kind of shit.
The world is giant. There's a lot of stuff. Like everything, there's like a big part of the setting is why I like the setting. Some people don't like the setting for the same reason I like it. It's a kitchen sink setting. Literally everything is happening in the setting. Like there is generic fantasy kingdom area, like in the Shining Kingdoms. There's also France that's in a perpetual French Revolution.
So like real France.
There's Conan the Barbarian riding like dinosaurs fighting crashed alien spaceship robots. They all just exist in the same world, and they all have like interconnecting politickings and shit. And it's just really interesting and really weird and really fun to watch them all interact and do stuff together.
Yeah, no, that actually does sound like really cool.
Mm-hmm. Because like stuff that would normally be like a different plane in a D&D is like, no, that's just 3 countries over.
Like the Conan riding dinosaurs thing, that's my other obsession. Ever since it's all primal, I was like, I love the idea of like, you know, primitive warrior riding dinosaurs fighting supernatural evils.
As really poggers, I love the setting.
Also, Gift of Gabby, I'm doing just fine. Hope you're doing well. All right, so the history tangent over. We should probably get back to
yeah. They use the same stats. In D&D, they're called ability scores. In Pathfinder 2, they're called attributes. Same thing, strength, dex, con, int, wiz, cha. They do the same thing for the most part. What do you expect?
So intelligence is still everybody's dumb stat.
Not mine. That's my second highest.
I mean, you are the teacher.
Wisdom's my dumb stat. Fuck that. I don't need to know shit.
That would explain why you were willing to collab with me.
I have no common sense.
It's okay. We love our geniuses a little dumb.
I love Moangi. Yeah, they have similar skills. Some skills have different names because they are based on older D&D/Pathfinder stuff, like Sleight of Hand in D&D 5e, which is a big compression of stuff from older D&D games, is compressed in the exact same way towards thievery, stuff like disabling traps, stealing from somebody, hiding objects. It's all thievery and stuff. Sleight of Hand, same thing, different name.
So Dex is still the god stat.
No, we'll get to that.
Oh.
However, there's also been a lot of skill compression as well. Like insight, investigation, perception in D&D are all now into just perception. However, perception isn't a skill, and we'll get onto that a little bit later. and it still has the same familiar classes you're used to, with varied class identity. Although the classes themselves might not be what you expect if you come from exclusively like D&D 5e or D&D 3.5, because they made a lot of changes in 2e to more like diversify classes and make them more into their own like different type of niches. So instead of just like, yeah, I have a paladin, I can do literally everything and kill everybody and still be unkillable and stuff like that. They're like, no, 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 we should make it, you have to work together.
I don't know. I love my overpowered paladins. Paladin is actually my favorite class. I love being an angry. Listen, I love being an angry mountain of righteous fury that protects my teammates and occasionally pops an enemy like a zit. And the disease immunity ain't a bad bonus either.
But yeah, this is about where the similarities end, in my opinion. Because everything else looks similar on the outside, but can be wildly different if you get into deeper into it.
I do like to go deep. You like 4E? So, gift to Gabby. 4E was actually my very first D&D game. I still remember I was a tiefling life cleric. And that game was so miserable, I didn't touch D&D again for like 5 years after 5th edition. After 5th edition already came out. But the thing is, I can't say for certain how much of that's because 4th edition sucked, and how much of that was because it was a high school game with a bunch of fucking high school, immature dweebs who, our GM literally started the game by making us roll for dick sizes. So that probably should have been my side.
No, that's fair.
I was not in for a good time.
Nah, bro, I remember back in high school, freshman year, playing Pathfinder, one of our paladin, like Pathfinder 1E, paladin player ripped off the dick of a Cerberus and used it as a weapon for the next 14 sessions.
See, that's at
no,
least,
I get it. I understand.
That's actually kind of funny, though.
It's that's the type of stuff you expect out of like a high school bunch of dudes type thing.
Yeah. I very distinctly remember he had us roll different dice based on our species, and the lizard wizard rolled so high he used it as a staff until he used it to knock on the door of a church, at which point the god struck it off with lightning.
Yeah, no, I think D&D 4E is poggers. I think it's pretty good for what it sets out to do as a game. And a lot of tabletop games have come out inspired by 4E and have improved upon it a lot. Like Pathfinder 2E, Lancer, MCDMs, like, what's it called? Draw Steel is pretty cool.
From what I've read and what I've watched and what little I remember from actually playing the game, I think a lot of the issues with 4E isn't that 4E was necessarily a bad system. It's that the support systems that were meant to go along with it to make it more easy and accessible,
it didn't happen.
Never happened. And I will say a lot of the classes, from what I recall and from what I've read, wound up basically just being reskins of each other. Like, a lot of the different skills were literally the exact same thing, but a different name. But I can't speak of that from any source of expertise. It's just from what little I recall and what little I've read. A casual just delivered a great joke based on the Cerberus thing. This is my great club. I call it Tildonius.
Illegal. You're banned.
It's okay. We have room for you at my table. You do have to fill out the consent paperwork, though. Everyone needs to be comfortable when we're smacking each other with our cocks.
I think that is where the similarities type end, and then there's a lot of differences. Like I said before, there's a lot of name changes, especially thanks to the OGL happening, and just prior before that, they had reasons to change things for different reasons. Like, Paladin is not called Paladin anymore.
Illegal.
I actually wrote it twice because I was tired.
Give me just a second. I need to expand the size of the lesson to make it easier for chat to read.
Okay.
So I may need to adjust our positioning a little bit.
Okay,
we're gonna stick the goblin in the corner a little. Naughty goblins get put in the corner.
Nobody puts goblin in the corner.
I put goblin in the corner. You're in my tavern now, bitch. This is my domain. Thank you so much for joining us, though.
Mm-hmm.
Champion. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
they got rid of
Champion sounds
champion.
like it should be something different to me, but that's probably also just because my entire RPG experience is formed
Mhm.
by classic Final Fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons.
The reason why it got changed is because they wanted champion to stand out as like in general holy warrior, because paladin, especially those coming from Pathfinder First Edition, have a very set expectation for what a champion slash paladin is, namely the lawful good, stick in the mud type of thing. So they changed the name to champion and made paladin the name of one of the subclasses. Back when they still had like stuff based on alignment before they had the OGL thingy where they got rid of alignment because they're like, I don't like this. So back when originally Pathfinder 2e came out, they had Paladin as the lawful good subclass, and there was subclasses for like the good side and the evil side, but then the remaster happened, and when the OGL thing happened, they're like, we don't like alignment at all, we just did it because you guys would have killed us originally. Like, they placed us a Pathfinder 2e using Pathfinder 1e players. And now Pathfinder 2e is like 3 or 4 times the size of Pathfinder 1e at its peak, so they're like, we don't have to cater to them anymore, we can do what we want.
Yeah. I will say, I like the alignment system, but not as a hard set pigeonhole, but rather as a general guidance. Like when I say my character is lawful good, I'm not saying they can only perform as a lawful good person. I'm saying their values and their morals point them in the direction of lawful good. This is what they aim for. This is like, the roleplay thing. And their actions can, lead them towards other ways. Like maybe they become disillusioned with the strict code of honor and start feel like, I have to do whatever it takes for the greater good, trying to play by the rules as a work, and they wind up shifting over to chaotic good. And so like when it's a fluid thing for roleplay, I do like the alignment system. It's when it becomes like a hard set, rigid pigeonhole. This is what you are. You cannot stray from it whatsoever type deal that I start having issues with it. I just noticed how wiggly your ears are. I love that.
I turned the wiggle up to 200% physics. People love it.
I want to nibble on them.
Exactly, that's the point.
Hold on. I'm gonna before we continue the lesson. I need a little snack to help me focus. Just
But yeah, they
Why do you
renamed
taste
that
like
attack
Nutella?
opportunity. Like,
Why do you taste
attack
like
opportunity
Nutella?
is called reactive strike now. They renamed a lot of stuff because they got rid of the OGL license being on their game in case Wizards of the Coast tries to pull something again. So they can't use conventional naming things that use that. Like attack opportunity is a thing made by WotC in their OGL, and so you can't really use it outside of it if you don't use your license. So they named it to reactive strike. They also named stuff like flat-footed condition from D&D 5e / Pathfinder 1e is called off guard. The off guard is called it's called off guard now. I
don't think 5e has flat-footed. I think flat-footed was a 3.5.
They don't. Yeah. And it's just general stuff like that. Speaking of backup opportunity, it's not universal. It's actually very rare. There's only a single class that starts with reactive strike / attack opportunity, and that's the fighter. Every other class, all 28 of the other ones, don't have it starting out. And some can get through other ways, but a lot can't.
So it's kind of like Divinity Original Sin 2, where you have to like pick up a feature to be able to gain attack stuff opportunity. It's not a built-in thing.
Yeah, some martial classes like Swashbuckler, Barbarian, etc., will get it at level 6 if they want to be able to pick that. They don't have to pick it if they don't want to, and there's other choices they can pick from, but they can get it at level 6. Other classes can't get it at all, and stuff like that, or other ones have weird special versions of it, like Swashbuckler built into their kit has something where if an enemy crit fails an attack against them, they get to stab them.
Literally adding injury to insult.
That's their whole thing. Swashbuckler as a class is different from the rogue subclass. It's its own separate entire class about being a flamboyant, arrogant asshole.
Oh my god, I love it already. I know what I'm playing.
They use like skills and stuff like that to go and give themselves a condition called panache, which is how they do their cool like finishers and flashy things. And they have to do really cool, really engaging, really funny things to get their panache, like doing a backflip. Hey, GM, can I stab my sword into a curtain and slide all the way down like a cool guy, like Prince Persia style? And like, yeah, cool. You can get panache. Or like, can I swing from the chandelier to go over and kick this guy in the head? Yeah, cool. Get panache.
So they basically the rule of cool class.
Yes, they're really goofy, really fun, and I really like them. But yeah, as a consequence of attack of opportunity / reactive strike not being a universal thing, the game is a lot more mobile. Cover, positioning, and terrain are way more important. And we'll get into why when we discuss the actions and stuff and how things work with the action system, as to why it becomes extra important to not just always stand next to an enemy who can just beat the shit out of you. Like running up to an enemy, stabbing them, and running away is a perfectly fine and sound thing to do.
Is that your favorite nerds being nerds? Yes! I'm expanding my nerd repertoire. So we're actually not too deep into the lesson yet. So far, Phoebe has just covered what the similarities between D&D and Pathfinder is. She shared a little bit of the lore history that would interest my particular tastes. Now we're just going to like the big differences between the two.
Yeah, I really like the fact that attack opportunity isn't universal, just because back when I played D&D 5e, I only ever played martial characters, which means as soon as I get into a fight with somebody, I am stuck there. Unless I use my entire turn to leave. And so it's like, wow, I could run around and go across the battlefield and punch like 19 guys in the head. This also applies to enemies as well. Enemies don't have attack opportunity. Only certain subsets of enemies, like the ones you'd expect, like heavily trained, combative type of enemies, like strong mercenaries and other like guards, stuff like that, have attack opportunity. Like most things don't.
We're talking second edition. You know, I definitely am a big fan of that idea. Like, I always felt like Fighter needed like a lot of things that should have differentiated Fighter kind of just went to everybody.
Mm-hmm. It's just a really good time to be a fighter, being the only person who can stand in the middle like a reach weapon and be like, fuck you, no, fuck you.
Also,
it's just a good time.
We do have the lovely... It just occurs to me, I've never actually said her name out loud. Esme? The very lovely Siren VTuber here in chat. I'm going to go ahead and give her a shout out because she's great. So y'all should definitely all go give her a follow.
Another thing that's different is that they have different saves. They have the old school classic DD 3.5 / Pathfinder 1U saves of Fortitude, Reflex, and Will, which I am personally okay with because you know how many spells in D&D 5e ask for Intelligence and Charisma saves?
Not a whole lot. It's mostly Wisdom saves.
24.
You had that locked and loaded.
I'm a nerd. 24.
I've noticed.
And like, there's only like a small subset of monsters that would even affect them either. Like, I believe possession things from ghosts and a banshee's wail and like the banishment concept other than just the spell are all Chaw saves. And then I think like just mind flayers were like intelligence saves and stuff like that, like Fuel Mind and Phantasmal Force I think were in saves, but other than that it's just, hey, Constitution save, Dexterity save, and Wisdom save, at which point I asked myself why the hell did they change it.
Yeah, but that's a whole thing with like...
How many strength saves have you made?
Yeah, Intelligence, Charisma, like, they are very rare, but when they happen, it is something devastating. But yeah, that's what I was saying with like Dexterity being the god stat. So many effects, attacks, spells, all that have a Dexterity save, and it kind of makes sense. But that mechanically just has the... What is that background? What is that PC background? Hold on, can we
It's
go
the
back
me and
to
the
that?
Yamcha pose, all right?
Yeah, can we go back to that? I need to appreciate it more.
I'm not sure if it's still on the because it's on a what's it called, a rotating thingy. There we go. There's my background. I was trying to find chat again because it's on a different tab. But yeah, no. Fortitude, anything that affects your body. Will, anything that affects your mind. Reflex, anything you can physically dodge out of the way of. Simple, easy.
I think I do like this because like that's kind of similar to how it was working in the because I've played some older Dungeons and Dragons video games, so I'm somewhat familiar with the older D&D systems. Yeah,
Yep.
like having it be like a compiled thing instead of just one stat really prevents the whole one god stat deal, that problem that 5e has. Like everybody needs to have dexterity, wisdom, constitution. Like you can maybe get away with dumping dex if you're going full in on being fully armored strength guy. But even that, like I've ran D&D games with variant encumbrance for partially no other reason than just to allow the strength players to feel strong. Because unless you're using variant encumbrance, strength so very rarely is helpful at all in a D&D campaign.
Yeah, no, they nerfed Dex from being a god skill to being a good skill. And strength got some buffs and stuff like that along the way. A big thing about why strength is pretty poggers is because combat maneuvers are universal. Anybody can grapple, trip, shove, reposition, stuff like that. And they all use strength.
So even though I'm not a martial class, if I wanted to, I could grapple you right now.
Yeah, as long as you had the appropriate strength versus my fortitude DC.
I'm like twice your size, and I do my push-ups. I think I'm good. Come here. Dia can make stuff for strong guy to be strong. I mean, that's part of the reason I did the variant encumbrance rule. Like, I would also try and put in obstacles where raw strength was helpful. But
I will also argue, why is it the GM's job to do that?
Yep. Like I personally
why is the game built that way?
I
bought the thing for $70, so why the fuck?
Yeah, like I personally run a lot of homebrew campaigns. I like to make my own settings and my own stories. But with the few times I run a module, there's not a whole lot of benefits to being strong in the module. Like I have Ghosts of Saltmarsh and I have Tyranny of Dragons, and I've never been able to get too deep into them, but I don't really recall there being many instances in there where like a character could just raw dog strength through an obstacle as described in the book. It would come down to DM Fiat, which yeah, DM Fiat's always needed, but it shouldn't be needed that much.
3 words, strength-based rogue. I love strength-based rogue. I played a ruffian rogue tank with a shield in one hand, gauntlet free hand in the other hand, and just threw down with people for an entire campaign. Just grab people, throw them on the ground, stomping their head in, all that type of stuff. It's good time. Would recommend.
Y'all say strength-based rogue, and I just remember the old green text of the orc rogue who had no points in sneak, and it's just whenever anyone would turn to look at him, he would just roll intimidate, go, "You do not see Grok!" And then he'd be like, "I do not see Grok," and turn around, pretend like they don't see him.
Yeah, rogues are weird in this game. They're really fun, and they can change what their core, like depending on what subclass you pick, you could change what your core class like attribute is. So if you, like ruffian rogue is a strength rogue, or like thief is dex, mastermind is int, etc., etc.
I like that. I like that.
And they also made a lot of balance changes. Across the board, marshals got buffed, casters got nerfed, and they fill different niches. Marshals are great at single target damage and being chunky boys and like doing things like that. Casters are really good at big area damage and targeting enemy weaknesses and buffing and debuffing things.
Okay, but if nobody's an island, how am I going to be the main character? Like, this isn't
That
a
is
team
the
game.
thing.
It's all about me. I win by being the best. Everyone is just there to sing my praise and make me look better.
That's where my next point comes from. Teamwork makes the dream work. If you don't work together, you're gonna fucking die.
Well, that doesn't...
That is not a joke. If you rush in there all willy-nilly, you will most likely get murderized.
So never split the party applies doubly so to Pathfinder, huh?
Pretty much.
God, there's
Mostly
supposed to be a lot
because
of communal bath scenes.
like half the game is like you do a really cool thing. Like your turn is usually you do one really cool thing and then you help set up somebody else do their really cool thing and it keeps going from there. Like, cool, I'm a barbarian. I run in there, I grapple a guy,
Work
squeeze
together
them
or
so they
die
take damage,
together.
and now they have the grappled condition, which makes them off guard. That off guard condition allows my gunslinger to have an easier chance to hit and crit that enemy now.
All right. By the way, thank you for the
And stuff like that.
follow, Saint Durandal. Welcome to the Belting Toad Tavern. Hope you enjoy your time here with us. I'm curious, is that Durandal in reference to the sword or Durandal in reference to Marathon?
I was about to say the marathon AI weirdo creature thing.
Yeah, I've never played Marathon, but I've watched all of Mandalore Gaming's videos on them.
I literally watched those last night.
I fucking love Mandalore Gaming. Like, maybe this is
Every
just
once in a while, it'll pop up
and
and I recommend it. It's like, I guess I'm watching 14 videos again.
Yeah, my only issue with Mandalore Gaming is every time I watch one of his videos, that's what YouTube thinks I want to watch exclusively for like the next day.
You want to see the history of the Druids again? Like, hell yeah, I do.
I mean, yeah. There have been so many times where I've gone on a long drive and instead of pulling up music, I just pull up his Duskers review. I don't know what it is about that particular review, but I love just listening to him talk in that one.
I love the Cabela ones.
Oh yeah, those are great. Those are great.
With like the
Not
weird
one that
were
got nicked
hyena.
from the cliff. That one was a fake. Oh, so we got the real Durandal. How do you type?
Yeah, they have a spiky face.
How do you type? You ain't got no fingers, right?
They use the face spikes.
It's gotta be like the world's most rugged keyboard, and then they just like hunt and peck. Like I'm imagining
Bink, bink,
Caliburn.
bink, bink, bink.
I'm imagining Caliburn from Sonic and the Black Knight trying to type on a keyboard.
Yeah, it's like one of those doggy keyboard things that you have to have one button for every like sit word.
He's just got an entire room dedicated to typing. Took Roland's body after he passed. This is just a warlock backstory. This is just the backstory for a warlock. I am a dead body possessed by the spirit of a magical sword. That is a badass warlock backstory. And I'm either stealing that for a PC or a villain. It's what I always say. A good DM creates. A great DM steals.
Sets put their self-insert.
Miraculous water bottle. Thank you for the nut.
And the last thing about the goddess of debt, you don't add dex to damage, only strength. Asterisk.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how I feel about that one. Like, because we coming from D&D having the two options, but also the other RPG that really influenced how I look at RPGs, especially from a mechanical standpoint, is Dark Souls. And I love the way multiple stats can be calculated into your damage. I understand that is way too number crunchy for a tabletop game. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's the asterisk.
So one of the reasons why I wanted to make dex not be the best stat in the game, and they're like, yeah, you can use versatile weapons, which is the trait that makes you use dexterity instead of strength to attack with it.
Yeah. Like,
But it still uses strength for damage.
So you can use your dex for the two hit,
Attack.
and strength for damage.
Mm-hmm. I will say you do get more ability score / attribute like modifier. You get bigger numbies in Pathfinder 2e compared to D&D, so you will have a more spread out thing, so you have at least a couple of strength. But I will also say adding your modifier to damage doesn't really matter as much in Pathfinder 2e as it does in D&D because of a thing called striking. Striking is a fundamental part of the game. And as you level up, you get access to certain items. It was originally baked into the game, but the playtesters just didn't like it, so they had to make it an item. because you have weapons, you can put runes on your weapons. There are certain ones called fundamental runes that increase your chance to hit things and the number of dice you use when you roll damage.
I like using more die.
Yeah. Originally, it was just a base rule of the game. Like, as you level up, you will get access to those. But people in the playtest didn't like it because they're like, man, I want to have a sword that does that for me. Instead of just me being really cool. And they're like, fine, I guess. So you have to buy it.
Weird. That's a weird thing to complain about.
They were going off of exclusively Pathfinder 1E players on playtest. So, like,
Yeah, true.
I like their magic stuff. But it just increases it up to a maximum of 4 dice at like high levels. So it stops being about like that extra plus 5 it's still nice, but it's not as important as you do 4 dice plus 5.
Maybe it's because I'm a basic bitch. I always like the idea of strength being really strong hits and dex being really fast hits. So like your dex hits may not do as much damage, but you're hitting a lot more often. Obviously, that's a little harder to do in a tabletop turn-based thing versus real time.
That is not hard.
Oh?
Because that is a thing, kind of.
Uh-oh.
In Pathfinder 2e, they have something called a multiple attack penalty, MAP for short. The more times you attack on your turn, the harder it is to hit something.
But
Starts out as there is a trait called agile in weapons that are to gun dexterity weapons that lower the number. Like lower the penalty. And there's even classes in other builds that can lower it even further. Baseline map starts at -0 for the first attack, -5 for the second attack, and -10 for the third and any other ones afterwards.
That's a big number.
It is. Agile lowers it to -4 on the second attack and -8 on the third attack. Stuff like Flurry Ranger can do it to all the way up to -1 on the second and -2 on the third. And the reason as to why those numbers are the way they are, we will get to that later on once we get to how proficiency works. Because that is very different. But yeah, baseline, no dex to damage. Unless you are a Thief Rogue. Thief Rogue is the only class in the game and the only like subclass in the game that can add dexterity to damage. That is their one thing. That is their special subclass benefit. And you're damn right I took it on my one rogue character. More damage.
Listen, I put big number on board. I take the enemy HP, I make it the tiny number.
Most strength things end up being bigger damage dice with less traits, and more agile and dexterity-based weapons have a lot more traits, because that's how they'll balance weapons out. They have there's like over 200 something weapons.
All right, Phoebe, just by the way, are you still getting hit by that storm?
Kind of.
Yeah, you got a little garbled there. Like, I could understand you, but just be aware.
Okay. Yeah, there's like a bajillion weapons. Each like weapon has a damage die size ranging from like 1d4 to 1d12. There are no 2d6 weapons. It is just a flat 1d12 or whatever. And then certain weapons have a certain amount of traits on them based on how high or low their damage dice are. Usually, the higher the damage dice, the less traits they have. Like Greatsword, they do 1d12 damage and can either do slashing or piercing. That's it.
Oh, so wait. So a weapon isn't limited to just one damage type in Pathfinder?
No. There's certain ones that can be any damage type. There's certain ones that are exclusively 1 or 2, stuff like that.
That is something I have had issue with D&D with since I started playing. Is like, okay, like the longsword, I understand the longsword is primarily slashing, but it has a pointy end. How is there not an ability to thrust to do piercing damage?
And comparatively, the dagger is a 1d4 weapon. It does 1d4 damage. It has the same thing that the greatsword has, where it can either stab or cut, and it can also be thrown 20 feet. And it's agile, so it could have a less map.
Right.
It's just stuff like that. So there's a bajillion different traits, and by bajillion I mean there's like 10. And they change how the weapon works and stuff like that. So more things to think about. And there's also like a lot of different weapons. So if you can think of a cool weapon, it probably exists.
Are whips usable? Are whips actually
There's a couple of whips.
Are they viable?
Yeah. There's like the base whip, there's the scorpion whip, which does lethal damage. There's the sword whip, there's a sword chain. There's what's it called? There's the bladed scarf, which is a type of whip. There's the bladed chain, which is like a two-handed big wah.
So what I'm hearing is I can make the Belmont Indiana Jones crossbreed hybrid abomination I've always wanted to play.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Orc are blessed by developers with the nastiest axe in the game, as they should be. Listen, I don't care if
The
your
orc neck splitter is fire.
Yeah, I don't care if your orcs are good or evil, if they're a warrior culture, or if they are, a proud tribe of wise shamans. If your orcs do not have an axe that they could split their enemies open with, and if it is not the nastiest fucking axe in the game, what was the point of having the orcs there? You could literally have all your orcs be uwu soft femboys. I don't care, so long as they can split open a skull in combat. That's all I need
They also
from
invented
orcs.
the machine gun.
What was that?
They also invented the machine gun.
The orcs, honestly, giving the orcs more DACA sounds appropriate.
Yeah, no, literally, they're like, they invented a repeating rifle that can fire like 8 shots without reloading. So they just fucking can just unload. There's a whole big lore thing for it and why it was really cool that I'm not going to get into today because that'll take me another 30 minutes of talking about lore.
Honestly, if you just want to like hang out sometimes and talk to me about Pathfinder lore, I think I'd be into that.
Mm-hmm. It's also called the Barricade Buster.
Nice. Can orcs be Mexican? I mean, that's what D&D's doing, isn't it? Honestly, like, I have no issue with, like, for different settings, taking different cultural influences for orcs. We shouldn't be just sticking to Tolkien for everything. My only hard set is the orcs need to have a badass axe. You could literally change everything else about them and still call them orcs, so long as they have a badass axe. And yeah,
orcs have some of the meanest weapons.
As they should.
And goblins have the funniest.
As they should. Listen, there are two things goblins are great for. There are two things that goblins are great for. And one of them is being the comic relief of the setting.
Literally. Yeah. Goblins are my favorite. They're weird.
I love goblins.
But yeah, no, we also have hero points of inspiration. And unlike inspiration, you start every single session with a single hero point. And then you're given 1 or 2 throughout the game as you do heroic things. Heroic asterisk, because if you're playing an evil campaign, it could be dastardly evil things.
The kind of thing that would have me twirling my mustache. Oh, look, can I get my hand tracking to cooperate with me today? Kind of.
No.
Kind of stroking my mustache. I need to get a better program for my hand tracking.
Mm-hmm. And much like not hero points, much like inspiration, it lets you re-roll any d20 you make instead of just rolling 2 dice and taking the higher one. It lets you just re-roll another dice, but you have to take the second result.
All right. Real quick. I like to take a 3-minute ad break about once an hour, so that way nobody is getting ads while actual content is happening. And I've been drinking too much caffeine anyway. I need to go have a conference for the Great White Round one. So do you mind if we take a 3-minute break to run ads?
Go for it.
All right, chat. We will be right back. Don't touch that dial. Probably help if I unmuted my mic. A thought occurred to me while I was in conference with the Great White Round One. Do you think I'd be able to convince them to let me use my GI bill to pay for these lessons? I can feel the judgment coming from your silence.
Man, I don't know. That's not my problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. I may or may not have paid the tuition fee before coming here. I kind of just showed up.
I mean, hey, you know what I like more than my Lamborghinis? Knowledge.
I would honestly, I'd pick a Lamborghini.
Fuck.
Listen. I'm not a big car guy, but a nice car is a nice car, you know? There's a lot you can do with a nice car. You could fit mini goblins in the Lamborghini.
Probably not. There's not a lot of space.
Yeah, but
You're a minivan.
Yeah, but y'all goblins are squishy and tough, so we could just kind of like, you know, stuff y'all in. And listen, don't worry, I am an expert at stuffing
Like
goblins.
the minions in the back of a car.
What?
Like the minions in the back of Gru's car.
Yeah. I've never watched Despicable Me, but probably yes. Listen, I'm an expert at stuffing goblins.
Peak.
I'll get you all in there.
But you know, hero points are really funny because you have to take the second result, so you could very well roll worse.
So it's a gamble.
It's a gamble, but you can see what your result was before you you decide to use it. So if you're like, ah, damn, I missed, I'm gonna re-roll that, or like, oh, I had a crit fail, I'm gonna re-roll that.
All right,
So yeah, this could not, instead of just rolling them both at the same time.
Like if you already know you're gonna fail, you really got nothing to lose.
Exactly, which is always fun when it rolls the same number again.
So basically, it just prevents crit fishing.
Yeah. Or you can use it to crit fish.
Yeah, but it's more risky that way.
It is, but it's really funny. I've had a fighter who's like, I'm gonna do it again.
What I hate is every time I build a character for crit fishing, he never gets a crit. Every time I build a support caster, every other attack they do is a crit.
Note to self, don't let dice play a gunslinger.
I mean, I like to sling. Does the
Gunslingers are all about critting.
Can the gunslinger cast spells through their gun, though?
There is a subclass about that.
Hell yeah. I love the idea of a spell slinger.
And the reason why I highlighted it, you can reroll any d20 roll you make, is because secret checks, a personal favorite of mine, but another point of contention for some people, your GM can fucking decide, like, roll things behind and you don't get to know what it does.
I mean, you could do
like
that.
They'll roll your dice for you.
Oh, okay. Never
Like, it's
mind.
a
You don't
main
do that in D&D.
Yeah, no, it's a main, what's it called? It's a main thing of the game. Certain rolls, like anything with recalling knowledge or lots of perception, trying to seek things out, the DM rolls for you and just tells you what you know. And they can lie to you if you fuck up.
Oh.
And you won't know.
Oh, that is, like, honestly, I love that, but that is disgusting. I
love it. Like, you're like, cool, hey, GM, what can I do to learn more about this evil book I found? It looks evil, it's made out of people's skin, and then the GM can roll, and you'll be like, yeah, cool, I'll roll Arcana for you, give me a second, but all right, that's not people's skin, that's pig skin, and it's a book about learning how to tame hogs, and you're like, awesome, and it's like, no, that's a Necronomicon, oh shit.
I love it.
Or like, yeah, you don't see anything as you step on a trap. It's just fun stuff like that. It happens rarely, but it's only usually for things about you trying to like see or find something, or you trying to remember knowledge or learn something about something.
I mean, that does make sense. I mean, obviously, there's gonna be times where the players could realize, okay, yeah, that's obvious bullshit. Like, if I roll on the Necronomicon and I'm told it's about taming hogs, I'm gonna know it's bullshit. But in other situations, it's like, okay, I have no idea. Like, you know, whether or not
it's just really fun and a way for you to not be able to, like, it's just a way to prevent metagaming or something, because you feel like, hey, GM, What can I see here? And they roll a 1, and you say nothing. Even if there's nothing there, they're gonna be like, there's something here, guys.
The Necro Hognicom. I think that's what the ancestor used to make the Warren in Darkest Dungeon.
Oh yeah, those piggies are weird.
They're very weird. I love them. But yeah, like not only just not metagaming, because like I'm typically pretty good about not metagaming. If I know there's a trap ahead, but you tell me my character doesn't know, I'm gonna do what my character would do. But it's really good for immersion.
Mm-hmm. It's just really fun. Yeah, like what Now said. You know it's bullshit, but does your character know it's bullshit? Which is really fun. I love it. And this is where I'm going to lose a lot of people. Different types of casting. This shit old school. You get Vancian casting and spontaneous casting. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, but I like it. It's how you choose balance and change things around.
All right, so I've seen Vancian casting be referenced on TV tropes before. That's the idea of where you have to pre-prepare the spell, correct?
Yes, you have a certain number of spell slots each day, and you could put spells into said spell slots. Like if a wizard, you have 3 third-level spell slots available, so you could prepare 2 fireballs and 1 fear.
Oh, so it's like older D&D, like the old Icewind Dale games. It's not like with modern D&D. Yeah. It's like, okay, I have 3 5th-level spell slots, but I just prepare the list of spells I know, and I can use those slots as I please. Like, nah, it's just you lock and load the spells.
That's why in D&D 5e, Sorcerer sucks compared to Wizard, because in every D&D brand, Wizard had Vancian cast, so they had to prepare that shit. And much like older games, spontaneous casting is the way that like 5e kind of does it. This works slightly differently, but that's still stuff for like bards and sorcerers and summoners. They have spontaneous casting, which means you know a lot of spells, and you have here to make spell slots. Here's what you can cast with them. And you just do it kind of D&D style, like D&D 5e style. And that was the balance between the two. That's why Wizards had stronger options, but they had to actively think it out and prepare and make sure ahead of time they're doing what they're doing, they want to do right. And Sorcerer's going to just be like, I'm a fucking wizard! And cast whatever.
You know what? I think
and that was the balance between the two.
I
really like it. It keeps them to being more unique instead of being a wizard, being a better sorcerer.
I've always liked magic being varied within a setting based on just how different people approach utilizing the magic, especially when you have different styles of casting magic coming from different cultures. Like they're tapping into the same source, but they figured out different ways to utilize it.
And speaking of fucking sorcerers, I will never not be mad at D&D 5e sorcerers for poaching the best thing about any magic in a tabletop game. Fucking meta magic is poggers peekers. And every caster has some form of meta magic they can learn in this game. Because originally, every caster had their own meta magic and stuff in old D&D and Pathfinder, but they got rid of it and put it only on the sorcerer because they didn't know how to make the sorcerer different from the wizard when the wizard stole their whole spell thing.
Ah, I see. I wasn't aware of that little bit of the history. Probably because I don't think I've ever actually used a sorcerer in any of the old D&D video games to realize the difference.
Like, yeah, everybody knows spell shapes and meta magics and stuff like that in Pathfinder. Like, they all have action. They all have options to be able to take them and do stuff with them. But D&D 5e, it's only sorcerer unless you take out 1 feat. They just added recently, within the past, like, not 10 years ago. Which always made me mad, because I'm like, what do you mean my wizard who spent their whole life being a huge nerd doesn't know how to tweak a little thingy? I wrote my own fucking book.
Yeah, it would make more sense for like the wizard to be able to tweak things versus the sorcerer, because with the sorcerer, it's innate. They just do. The wizard understands. Yeah,
that's something that always made me mad. But yeah, no, everyone in meta magic stuffs and the different types of spellcasting are here. So that might turn some people off. Some people really don't like Vancian casting and having to prepare ahead of time, but there's plenty of spontaneous casters to tide you over, in my opinion. But yeah, back onto perception isn't a skill. We talked about earlier in the skill section. Perception encompasses insight, perception, and investigation all into one thing. It's not a skill. It doesn't really have a designation for what it is. It's just perception. Every creature has perception. Nearly all things are trained in it, And different classes have different proficiency scalings. Like rogue and ranger start out expert in perception, where most people start out as trained. Stuff like that. The reason they did this is because they figured everybody's going to take perception anyways, so why not just make it a thing that you get? There's nobody that's probably not going to pick perception as a training for their skill training, so they're just going to be like, you can have it, and we don't care.
Yeah. Like, no one ever wants to dump wisdom because perception, at least in D&D. Just because, you know, well, if you dump that, you dump perception, and if you dump perception, you don't see shit. And you're very reliant on someone else in the party always seeing shit, and you're not always together. Also, of course, you know, the wisdom saving throws.
Initiative. It's not dex-based.
Oh?
It's perception-based.
Yeah, I could fuck with that. So how do you get your points of perception, then? Like, if it's not a skill...
It just gets trained as you level up. Like, certain classes will level up at different times and increase it with certain levels.
Okay. And then I presume you still roll, so you roll and you add your perception?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I can fuck with that.
There are other ways to roll initiative, though, depending on what you're doing. So if you are sneaking around and combat happens, you can roll stealth for initiative. Or if you are breaking a door down which starts combat, you can roll athletics for initiative. But the baseline is you are observing and you can see something coming at you. Perception.
See, I like that. I was like, because D&D does have rules for, like, if you're using a different stat for a skill. For example, you could use strength for intimidation if you're intimidating someone by showing, like, you smashing a table with one hand. But I've never seen anything about doing that for initiative. I like that, actually. That's actually really cool.
I used to use deception a lot for initiative when I would, like, sucker punch a person. What's that? Punk. You're like, all right, roll deception for initiative, you asshole.
Dark looking alien!
Yeah, literally. And they just kick him in the balls and run.
I mean, like, isn't that basically just Fury of the Small? Just kick him in the nuts and run?
Yeah.
Can you reach their nuts?
Yeah, speed bag. Shigga.
Ow. Ow. Hold on, I think I need to invest in a jock strap for this course. I suddenly don't feel safe in my classroom environment. I'm gonna do
it like dodgeball. I'm gonna start throwing random shit at your balls every time you don't pay attention.
If you can dodge a fireball, you can dodge a dodgeball.
But yeah, not only perception has different scaling, and proficiency itself and the general scaling of Pathfinder 2e is very different than D&D 5e. While D&D has bounded accuracy and bounded scaling and stuff like that, where like proficiency bonus only goes up to a set number as you level up and does stuff like that, Pathfinder 2e has linear scaling. What's that mean? It's slightly complicated, but not a lot complicated. People like to make it out as like a horrifying, scary thing in a lot of videos and stuff I've seen about people criticizing or talking about it, but it's pretty easy in my opinion. DD, everyone knows, D&D 5e, 3 levels of proficiency. You've got untrained, expertise, and trained. Untrained is just, do not do anything special, just roll a d20, add your ability modifier. Trained, add your ability modifier plus your proficiency bonus. Expertise, double your proficiency bonus, and all your other shit. Pathfinder has 5 levels of proficiency: untrained, trained, expert, master, and legendary. Asterisk, there's a 6th one, but that's only for mythic rules, and we're not going to talk about those because those are very niche and those won't come up in 98% of games.
I think older.
Untrained.
Like... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, older D&D, because again, from playing some of the video games, I know like you would be able to put multiple points into getting proficiency with like different weapon skills and stuff like that. That's always a system I always kind of wished 5e had. Like, I do appreciate 5e for being so approachable and modular, but there are times I wish it was made with the in mind of being able to use the more complex older rules without breaking things. Because nothing would be balanced around the idea of, you know, the more divided up proficiency, like what this is talking about.
Untrained is the exact same as D&D's. It's just a D20 plus your attribute modifier. But trained onwards is where it gets a little spicy. Trained, D20 plus your attribute modifier plus 2 plus your level. Expert, same thing, plus 4 plus your level. Master, same thing, plus 6 plus your level. Legendary, same thing, but plus 8 plus your level. As you level up, you get stronger. As you hit certain level thresholds, you can get even stronger. While the things that you fought early on stay the same. Unlike D&D 5e, whereas in a level 20 paladin, you can still get hit by a level 1/2 goblin. The way the scaling works, once you get upwards into the, like a level 20 champion has like an AC if they raise their shield up to in the 50s. That goblin isn't going to hit anywhere near that. They will crit fail every single time.
Is there no random crits on a D20?
There are. The way criticals happen in Pathfinder 2e are also different, and I wanted to talk about them here. So, critical hits can happen kind of. There are 4 levels of success in D&D not D&D 4e, of Pathfinder 2e. Critical, failure, failure, success, critical success. When you roll a natural 20 on something, it will boost up your level of success by 1. So if you roll failure, it goes to a success, success to crit success, etc., etc. 1 is the exact same, but opposite. If you roll a crit success, you roll a 1, it's a success now. Then onward.
So basically, if the goblin could only roll high enough without the 20 to be a critical failure, the best he could do is a failure.
Mm-hmm. Doubly so, because on top of that, due to the maths of the game, you can critically hit something or critically succeed against something if you roll 10 or higher above the success on your roll. So if something has a DC 20, you roll 30, it's a crit success.
Okay.
Same thing for inverse. If you miss the DC by 10, so if something has a DC of 20 and you roll 10, you crit fail it.
Okay. And what's the difference between a failure and a critical failure?
It depends on what you're using. Against like spells, there's something called like a basic save. Basic saves for things usually means on a critical success you take nothing, success you take half, failure you take full, crit failure you take double.
Damn. Altorov brings up a good point. In D&D, there is always a chance for you to win against a god and always a chance for you to lose against an ant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just saying, ants do kill like a dozen people a year. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
That's why I really like the scaling of Pathfinder 2e more, because you can feel yourself getting stronger as the things that were once like, that's a boss, is now chaff. Something you beat like 5 of without even caring. And that's always something I really enjoy, because you can see yourself, damn, I really am stronger now. Fuck that guy. I crit that goblin on a 13.
Yeah, I've always loved that. That's the one thing I love about RPGs. So that's why I don't like RPGs that scale the encounters to your level. I prefer RPGs. Yeah, like I don't like how Fallout 3 does it, or like the Elder Scroll games do it. I like how like New Vegas does it, where it's like if you
walking the Cazador's nest.
It's like if you go to this early level area when you're max level, you're gonna stomp on it. If you go to the Deathclaw Quarry right after you're done with Goodspring, chances are you're going to find yourself having multiple new holes in your body, and not in a fun way.
Imagine not getting the 10% chance drop of a self boy inside of Victor's hut before you even go to the Deathclaw Quarry at level 1. God.
I still have like PTSD flashbacks to the time on stream I went to Sloan, and for whatever damn reason, the alpha male Deathclaw decided to come visit Sloan, and he just annihilated everyone in the camp and then me in a single hit.
Snuffles!
Yeah, no, poor Snuffles never stood a chance. Like, I was like, why am I in danger? Why am I in danger? I am the danger. And then I saw everyone like pull up their guns and start shooting. And then I just saw this mountain of death barreling towards us. And I realized, oh, I am not the danger. I am in danger.
I love that shit. That's why I really like the type of scaling. And Dina in chat brings up a very potent thing. Every +1 or 2 or whatever matters in Pathfinder 2e because of how things scale. If you can get 10 over something, you can crit it, which is really helpful, especially if you're fighting a boss like that. So positioning is important because if you flank somebody, they are off guard, which means they have a -2 to their AC to you. If you fear somebody by intimidating them, they have a -1 to all their stats, including AC, which means it's even easier to hit them. And so you can stack a couple of things onto a big enemy to make it easier to beat the shit out of, or just survive. And the same goes for you as well. And I really like that. Like raising your shield is an action in this game. You have to actively try to do it because it gives you a +2 to your AC. Which means it's a 10% chance that enemy doesn't crit you. And also why Gunslinger and Fighter are mean in this game because they start out expert at level 1, which means they automatically start out with a 4 plus their level to attacking, which is 2 higher than everyone else on your team, probably.
Okay, so that's how I be the main character. Good to know. Also, ow. Also, Eric Munchkin, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Belgian Toad Tavern. Hope you enjoy your time here with us. Chat says hi.
Hey, Vince.
Shade Wolf 01, thank you so much for the follow. Ow. Welcome to the Belgian Toad Tavern. Hope you enjoy your time here with us. Dinah Gob, hello. I think I've seen you around. Welcome to the Belching Toad Tavern. Hope you enjoy your time here with us. I'm going to be saying that a lot right now, aren't I? Hoy, everybody. Oh, God. Oh, you just scored a critical hit against high school me. Oh, God. That every pony just triggered fucking Vietnam flashbacks.
Man, most things only ever get to master level training in like whatever they're doing. Some don't even get past expert in like certain things. Like casters that try to stab things typically only get up to expert proficiency in weapons, unless they are specifically built to kill things with a stick. Whereas most things get up to master at best with armor, unless you're a champion or guardian, in which case you can get up to legendary and be just a wall.
The wall.
And it's just stuff like that.
Wall.
That like change and depend on what you want to do. And I really like that.
No, I actually like that system. At least the sound of it.
And now onto the action system. This is my personal favorite part of the game. I really engage with it. It gives my autistic brain something to do and think about. Whereas instead of D&D 5e's weird action system of you have an action, a bonus action, maybe a move action, an interact action, you just have 3 actions. You just get 3.
So it's like an action point system.
Yeah, kinda. On your turn start, you get 3 actions and a reaction. Asterisk, some conditions can make it so you don't get as many actions back. Like stunned 1 will make it so you lose 1 extra action. So you only get 2 on your turn starting, so you're just like, oh, fuck. I got stunned 7 once. So I didn't have a turn for 2 turns.
Jesus. How hard
Yeah, I crit failed
hit?
2 will saves against some high level like mindfuckery stuff, and I had low wisdom.
See,
So I was just like,
you fucking had that campaign had the mind break tag for a session.
literally, I was like, hell yeah, I'm so cool. Wee! And just standing there being like, I'll get him next time. It was goofy.
I'm just like imagining that one scene of King of the Hill when he walks in and he sees like the new employee just high out of his mind, drooling, standing in a dark room.
Mm-hmm.
just like a glob just slowly dripping down over the course of 2 turns.
Yeah. And with your turn, you can do whatever you want on your turn as long as you have the actions for it. in all the basic actions cost only one action. So striking means to attack with your weapon. That takes one action. Stride, move to your speed. That takes one action. Dropping prone, one action. Most combat maneuvers are one action. So if you want to grapple somebody, that's one action. And like I said before, your turn can literally be, I run up to some guy, I stab him, I run away from them. And that is a perfectly viable and perfectly fine turn. Or you can spend all 3 actions attacking. However, that's where the multiple attack penalty comes in. Because multiple attack is not like a thing in Pathfinder 2e. Anyone at starting every level can just attack as many actions they have. Some classes have ways to compress their actions down into other things. Like Ranger has a level 1 feat that lets them just attack twice for one action. Same with Monk, that's how the Flurry of Blows works. They just punched you twice for one action.
Oh, was it when you said, you just run up, stab, run away again? That just sounds like the most goblin-ass tactic ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you and I got into a fight, I'm pretty certain that's exactly what you would do.
Yeah, run up, speed bag, run away.
God, where's my fucking jockstrap?
While spells mostly take 2 actions to cost, there are some variable action spells. Like heal has different effects based on how many actions you spend on it. Like one action, it is a contact. You have to reach within your touch reach spell that heals for 1d8 HP. 2 action spell version of heals for 1d8 plus 8 at a range of 30 feet. And then a 3 action version is only 1d8 healing, but to literally everything in a 30-foot radius.
All right. I like that. I mean, that's an interesting way to balance out the magic casters with the marshals, is just having it take a little more of the action points. Also, Moon God is asking in chat, how does multi-attack penalty affect grapple?
Grapple has the attack trait, so if you use it before you attack, your next attack would have a -5 to it, or if you use it after you attack somebody, it would have a -5 to it, etc., etc.
So typically speaking, if you're going to want to grapple someone, you'd probably want to do that for your first attack.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a whole ass Pathfinder action emote, or?
Yeah, that's Kitsune Warlock. He is a developer of Starfinder.
Oh, well, hello there. I'm actually,
and yeah, Aaron Merton said all shield spells and a lot of defensive spells are only one action. So you just cast that. Also, there's no you're not allowed to cast 2 spells on your turn type thing like D&D 5e. You can just, if you have 3 actions, you can 3 action, 1 action harm somebody. I made a cleric all about just blasting enemies full of so much void energy on a turn that they explode instantly.
Oh, that is disgusting. I love it. Also, apparently there's a weird font glyph, which I'm going to steal because I have a feeling, with how cool this is sounding, I have a feeling like we might wind up doing at least one proper Pathfinder stream at some point. At the very least, I have a Pathfinder video game I really need to play.
But yeah, all the things on the bottom of the screen are all the different action symbols. You will see these next to whatever a certain thing is. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, and the little whoop is a reaction. Certain classes have certain things that let you do things for 2 actions. Like the fighter has a thing called, we used to be called power attack. It's now called vicious strike. Ooh, 2 actions, you attack once, you add an extra die of damage to the attack, which then scales as you level up to 2 extra dice or 3 extra dice.
I mean, that does sound
pretty. And it's just really fun stuff like that. I really like it. It's really fun. There's also 2 specific spells that are Dragon Ball Z themed that can take multiple turns to cast.
It's all right, I can hit him hard, but I need to charge for 10 minutes. And considering he just beat our ass in 1, well, you'll be fine.
No, literally, it's the best. I love it. There's ones that's yeah, you can do a 2 action version, a 3 action version, or a 2 turn version, and it's oh! It's my favorite. But yeah, that's my favorite part of the system. Is the action system is just very versatile. There's never not a turn where I don't have something to do, where I'm like, damn, I wish I could do something, but I just gotta sit here because I'm trapped and I can just attack somebody.
Yeah.
There's just always something weird you could be doing.
As someone who has replayed Act 1 of Divinity Original Sin 2 way too many times, this sounds absolutely perfect for me. I always love the AP system.
Mm-hmm.
And moving is also using an action, right?
Yep, one action to move. Unless you have a special like ability that lets you just like, there's one called Sudden Charge that lets you stride 3 times for 2 actions.
Nice. All right, yeah, I think I like the sound of that. I really like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's really fun. I really like it. And then next up, there's a lot of feats. This is another point of contention for some people. This game has a lot of customization, and I mean a lot.
Phoebe,
darling,
bless your heart. We gonna talk about that title for this slide?
I thought it would be funny.
It's true what they say. Pathfinder players all have a feet fetish.
Also, what Dina just said in chat is very important to talk about too. Every single enemy can do the same thing you can, which is including with the action stuffs. So they also have 3 actions. They also interact with the same things the same way, which is also why running away is a very good thing to do to you sometimes, because that means an enemy can't use all 3 actions to attack you. They have to use an action and waste an action to walk up to you. So they get one last time to smack a bitch up. Especially if you have more movement speed than them, they have to move twice to get to you and only hit you once.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Although typically speaking, I feel like the best tactic for denying your enemy's actions is dog, just fucking kill them. Or set them on fire. You'll find it's very difficult to do anything when you're on fire.
True, that's like an action to try to put yourself out.
I was joking, but I love that is actually a legitimate strategy. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I might have to make an arsonist character if and when I play.
You know, what Dina said is poggers, because I've done this a lot. Sometimes a big speedy boss enemy might have a big 3 action fuck you attack, and you should be like, and push them away or trip them, and they'd be like, God damn it, I gotta waste an action to get up or walk to you, so I can't do that big thing anymore.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I love when you get to bully the boss.
Because I did that in the final boss of my last big campaign I was a part of, and it made my GM really mean. Because the monster had a big 3 action ability, but the first thing I rolled initiative, I was a war priest cleric, which I have high perception, high wisdom, so I ran in there immediately towards the big boss guy was, and then just stood still and then grappled it so it couldn't move towards my friends. And then it was like, my GM looked at me in the face, was like, fine, I'm going to use the big 3 action, I'm going to beat the shit out of you move. And I said, okay. And she hit me once, and then I used my one funny goblin reaction, lets me just get myself flung 30 feet away whenever I take damage from a melee attack, and just made her waste all the rest of the attacks and the actions of that turn as she flung me away after hitting me once.
I thought you were about to say because you were grappled to her when she hit you, she would fling.
Yeah, and you smacked me off. And I was like, whee! And I was just sitting in the center of the room trying to do 4 other attacks against nobody. It's like, fuck you.
So goblins are basically just the troll class, or the troll race. You just troll the
enemy. They're very goofy. I love them.
Although now I'm picturing that one scene that was a meme. Like, hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. So this is how I'm imagining that boss fight went. Let me I'm gonna have to move up my display capture real quick. I have to move down my display capture real quick. I was not prepared. So this is all I'm picturing out of this boss fight. Just
Do I amuse you?
Yeah,
Am I some sort of clown to you?
I hate my job.
that's pretty much what happened.
it's just that, except you're totally into it. It's like, joke's on you, motherfucker. That was the plan the whole time.
Literally, that's what happened. But yeah, no, a big thing that people get a lot of times when they first ever play Pathfinder 2e is analysis paralysis and just decision choice paralysis, stuff like that, because there is a lot that goes into customizing a character. A lot of different types of feats and a lot of different things, so you get at different levels, which can be overwhelming if you're not used to it or autistic like me.
Reminds me of like people's reaction with abject terror when they see the skill tree in Path of Exiles,
Me
which is
too.
less of a skill tree and more of a skill galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Love how in this system you can build off-meta characters. Like in this campaign, your character's a rogue that uses battle medicine to act as one of the party's main healers. Ooh. Yeah, this does sound like a system would really build up like guile characters, like, you know, characters that do use a lot more guerrilla tactics or unconventional tactics.
But it could be a lot. Like, there are over 50 ancestries, which is what we call races. Each ancestry has at least like 5 heritages, which is like the subrace, and at least like 13 or so feats you can choose from as you level up. And that one was just picking what you look like and what you can do, that sort of thing. They get onto the 29 classes, most of which have subclasses, and also feats you can pick at level 1. And if you don't have feats that pick at level 1, you have spells you can learn and spells to go through at level 1.
Yeah, that does sound
If you're a rogue, you also get a skill feat at level 1. It's a lot of shit.
That does sound a little overwhelming.
It could be very spicy. And it could... That's why whenever I'm with someone who's new to playing a game, I'll usually be like, hey, what's the general concept of what you want to do? And here are the options that you can help you do that. Because it's just easier than giving them a book of thousands of options, being like, fucker, do it.
Any race could be a tiefling. I heard Pathfinder could have goblin tieflings, and the concept alone stun-locked me for a bit.
Yeah. It's a thing called versatile heritages, where certain things make sense as like a kind of like an almost template you can put on top of yourself. Like there's one for like Tiefling and Asmar are melded into one thing called Nephilim. It works for any outsider thing. So anything from like the plane of chaos or law or hell/heaven, they kind of hang out under the same umbrella. So you can mix and match them. So you can be one half angel, one half devil, one half human. Might be asking, that's a lot of halves. Yeah, because you're a big woman.
So you could make everyone's first DeviantArt OC then.
Yeah, you can be your angel or you are devil. And just a lot of stuff like that. There's other weirder ones, like one's called Beastkin, where you have the blood of a werewolf in your body. Like your dad was a werewolf, but your mom was a human, so now you're just like a half a werewolf.
I mean, I
And there's
already
also
know a lot of
custom
my
mixed
friends who
heritages.
like to have werewolf DNA in them, so I could see them going with that.
There's also custom mixed heritages, which lets you just mix and match any 2 ancestries you want. Like, I think my build of the most HP you can have total in Pathfinder 2e is is a dwarf goblin.
A dwoblin.
There's also one for being like half dragon, and there's a lot of stuff like that.
Half drag, half pug. As in,
yeah, there's
the
pug people called
dogs that
Shuni.
can't breathe.
Yeah, Shuni. I love them. Let me get a picture of them real quick.
Half dragon, half pug. Isn't that just like a D&D kobolds? Isn't that just Advanced Dungeons and Dragons kobolds? Half elf, half psychic beetle rhino. Like a rhinoceros beetle?
No. a beetle and also separately a rhino.
I feel like some elf got fired from the zoo after that.
See, there we go. Shuni. I love them.
Oh my god, I love him.
The Pug Warrior.
Oh, I love him.
There's a lot of weird characters you can make with it, and I really think it's fun.
Half orc, half robot. Someone's here to cat. Elatorvim saying that's literally a rhino that is also a beetle. Either way, I think that elf has a lifetime ban from the zoo. Ah, the mustache. Yes, the mustache. It's my most marketable feature.
I thought it'd be the eye.
Well, the mustache predates the eye. Literally, fun story. The reason why my VTuber has a mustache is when I made my very first model. Also, Bramblebear DM, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Belching Toad Tavern. Hope you enjoy your time here with us. When I made my very first model in Vroid, I had no idea how to push the features beyond Vroid's defaults. So I couldn't make myself look any older than 12. So I had to give myself facial hair to age up and masculinize my character. And then every single person who came into my chat made comment about my mustache. And on Twitter, they all made comments about my mustache. It's like, well, I guess that's my marketable feature. So when I made the new model with more skills, like, well, I can't get rid of the mustache. And then it became such a thing. I grew a mustache in real life. My biggest ego stroke I have had in my life is still the time I walked past a colonel and she stopped in the middle of her conversation with several of our officers, including the squadron commander, just to go, damn, now that's a mustache, as I walked past them in the hall. I rode that high for a week.
Goodbye.
Listen, there is nothing that makes me feel more powerful than when a young airman would ask me for advice on growing mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, good times. Good times.
But yeah, no, feats are weird and scary. And like I said, marshals get one at first level typically. Some of them don't. Some of them have so much shit going on with their actual base class they don't get one.
I mean, so that's a great
But
way
every
for,
spellcaster, for the most part, doesn't.
Bramblebear, thank you so much for the subscription. Much appreciated. Yeah, I also it does sound intimidating, but also that's a great way to differentiate characters, even if you're playing the exact same heritage and class and all that. Like, you could still differentiate yourself just by picking so many different feats. Whereas, like, with 5th edition, yeah, we got feats, but, like, a lot of them are basically just slight additions to how your character already operates. Like, they don't differentiate you all that much. There's a couple of exceptions, but those are usually in line with specific classes anyway. Like, you're not going to be seeing a bard taking Sentinel and Polearm Master. The way you tell your players about Pathfinder 2e is that the crunch is very front-loaded. Once you make your character, you're basically set. Yeah, Warlock is definitely the most customizable class in D&D 5e. But it sounded like that's more like the norm here with Pathfinder.
And that's the thing. People always ask about having a warlock class in Pathfinder 2e because there is no direct warlock analog, and it's because the main core thing of warlock is the thing that every other class has.
You know, I always kind of, like, before I really knew much about Pathfinder, I always kind of assumed whatever you were playing as was the warlock equivalent, probably just because you're a super charismatic goth. So it's like, you know, gothic, charismatic. Yep, that's a warlock.
Huh? Man, no, there is no warlock equivalent. Same with artificer. There's no artificer. there's a lot of different classes that take a chunk from the artificer and make it into a full thing.
All right. Warlock is not OGL. Oh, I didn't know that actually. I do know that Artificer wasn't OGL. But also, D&D didn't make Artificers. That's a more general fantasy thing. But anyway, back to the lessons with our lovely teacher here.
Yeah, caster feats typically revolve around improving or being able to change their spells or getting spells from other spell lists, because the way spell lists work in D&D compared to Pathfinder 2e, very different. D&D 5e, you have your like list of like, here's the type of spells you can take. Like here's your big list of like, yeah, as a wizard you could take Fireball and Lightning Bolt, and here's an entire page dedicated to this. In Pathfinder 2e, it's more like you get giant list. There are 4 magical traditions: primal, occult, arcane, and divine. And your class gets one of those 4. If like you're a caster. And then there's other ways you can poach spells from other spell lists or other sources through other feats and stuff like that if you want to.
So that's more my D&D, or not my D&D, my Dark Souls nerd coming through. I always loved the separating of magic like that. Like how with Dark Souls you had the arcane magic, you had miracles, and you had pyromancy. Oh, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm. All the traditions have like, there's a little circle about them of what they can and cannot do based on like lore stuff in the game, which influences why certain things can't do certain things. Like arcane is like the wizard, like iconic wizard spell thingy. It has no access to healing of any sort. It is like super versatile and can do pretty much anything except for that. They have some buffs, some debuffs, some kill, some anything like that, but no healing.
Also, I will say, when y'all talk about like Artificer big from Eberron, which is a special license thing, not OGL, that is true. However, the concept of a Tinkerer in RPGs far predates all of that. So, if you wanted to have your own equivalent to an Artificer, you could just make, Mechanist or Tinkerer or something like that, and basically have all the exact same things. She's using a different name. Let's see, in 3.5 Warlock, everyone remembers your invocations, but Warlock players know the real class feature was take 10 on use magic device. I mean, shit, that's a pretty powerful feature. Sorry. I'm easily sidetracked. I have too much Red Bull and ADD.
And then like martial feats are typically around like how to kill better. If it's based on their subclass abilities or like different combat actions, like having a bajillion different ones depending on the type of weapon type you want to use, whether it's like bow ones, one's for using a sword and shield, one for using just a one-handed weapon and a free hand, one for dual wielding, etc. Or like other things like action suppression, or what's it called? Compression. Where it's like you do this thing to make an enemy not be able to use their actions, or you use a thing to compress 2 actions into one thing, or like 3 actions to 2 things.
Like attacking multiple times, or maybe like running up to an enemy and smacking them with the same action.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, like sudden charge lets you stride. It's a 2-action ability to run up to somebody, like run like 3 times up to somebody, and if you on your turn next to somebody, you can smack them. And stuff like that. Or like the Monk and Ranger can attack twice for 1 action, or things like the Guardian has a feat. It's like a 2-action feat where they run up to an enemy, hit them with their weapon, and then run away with them again, dragging them with you.
Get over here.
Just literally, except you can run up to them and punch them in the head, and then party. It's one of my favorite feats of all time, and I love it.
It's like, Fad, this is not a battle. Rude. You're getting jumped.
It's so peak. Oh, I forgot to make animation for this one. Oh, man.
Aw.
Yeah, no, class differences. This is like the last big slide, because there's a lot to talk about for class differences.
About how long? Because I do like, we are getting to a point where ads are going to run again, and I would rather people not miss out on content for ads.
That's fair. It can be a bit.
All right, we'll take a 3-minute break so that nobody misses anything for ads. I don't like paywalling content. So we will be right back after these messages. Who's gonna tell that Pathfinder and Starfighter is basically the same game? I played like a single game of Starfighter First Edition. I don't think we even had any combat in that game. So I really cannot use it as a point of comparison to learn Pathfinder at all. We mostly played it as like a tie-in with our campaign in Stellaris at the time, and then that completely fell apart because I deployed.
And it's Starfinder 2e. It has the same basic like core rule stuff as Pathfinder 2e, so like, you can use them interchangeably. They just have some different expectations, and some things they're also really way weirder, and I love it about Starfinder.
I mean, when you bring in sci-fi and fantasy together like that, yeah, things are gonna get weird. Just look at Warhammer 40k.
It's a good time.
And I say that in a very affectionate way. I love it when shit gets weird. I mean, look at me. Anyway, so
we're on like the last slide of a lot of shit. There are 29 classes. I'm including the 2 playtest classes because they're coming out next year, and they keep adding more of them. I don't know if they're ever gonna stop. There's a lot of shit. I love it. There's a lot of stuff. They all, there's a lot of them. There's no direct analog to Warlock or Artificer.
But stuff like tinkering around is something that's kind of like spread amongst other classes.
Yeah, we have Alchemist, Inventor, and Runesmith.
Is it Rootsmith
as well as Gunslinger?
XP to level 3's friend? Is he the guy who does the videos that just that describes obscure D&D monsters?
I don't know. I don't watch D&D things.
Nerd.
They all do they're all like crafty things that do things in different weird ways. It's just, I don't know how, like, Inventor is like Artificer, but they don't use any magical things. It's all technology. And Alchemist is the entire Alchemist subclass of Artificer, but good.
Shots fired.
I don't mean to be mean. I talk to this with Melly a lot. Alchemist sucks. In like 5 years. I feel bad.
Don't, you didn't even need firearm proficiency. Those shots were fired laser accurate. The Inventor must have given you a rifle to musket.
Not good. And then like Warlock is weird as well. Because like the big mechanical thing of D5e Warlock, and people are like, yeah, I want to be able to customize my character. And it's like, that's every class. The theming behind like having a patron and spells that's in the witch class. The witch is a full caster up to like 10th level and stuff like everyone else.
Because people talk about like, people talk about in D&D, like, you know, Warlock being customizable, and in theory it is, but everybody just always puts the same things into maximizing the damage output for their Eldritch Blast.
And yeah, that's the thing, because like the class Psychic can just spam like upgradable, ampable cantrips a lot if they want to do that. The Magus class is your go-to like Gish type, Hexblade ass type thing. If you want to do that, there's a lot of classes that can do things that people use the Warlock for, but they do it as like a whole thing, and also just be customizable because that's Pathfinder's whole thing. So I always never know what type of Warlock do you want to make.
What kind of Warlock do you want to make? I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast. I'm going to add Agonizing Blast. And,
the one that pushes them a little bit.
Yeah, they'll maybe get the one to push them. Maybe they'll light up going with Spell Sniper if the DM likes to use really big battle maps.
I got Armor of Agathos for free now. I can read books. That's the thing with like I'm gonna go rant, but like Warlock's like invocations, some of them are just like, why? Like you can be like, I can kill a guy easier, or I could be situationally better maybe, depending if my GM likes me or not. It's like, man, why are these the same level?
Oh god, Lord Doom, you've killed me.
Dude, cap random Doom bits. Lord Dev 23 Doom bits.
Lord Doom, how could you? You're a witch now. Your patron is yourself from the future, sending you magic powers through time to fuck with themselves in the past. Oh, I got a headache just trying to think about how that would work. The paradox. The paradox. That was a thing. You broke my goddamn leg. But yeah, like the only time you really see Warlock players go away from the just maxing out their Eldritch Blast is if they're either trying to roleplay something specific from like some book or anime, or if they're going Hexblade Paladin just to maximize smite damage.
Yeah.
I should know what cleric to fix that.
It's just so weird.
I'm the support caster of the party. I have the healing spells. We're not very good at what we do. Anyway.
I don't know. Each class has its own like all 20 classes have their own like type of niche kind of what they can do and what they're good at and stuff like that, but can still be built in like a variety of different ways into different things. like champions and guardians, they protect. Fighters and rogues attack. You get the gist. There's support casters, there's offensive casters, there's Healy type casters, there's Healy type marshals, skill based marshals, etc., etc.
I'm seeing Shane
And like
Wolf
each
here.
class is very different.
So I'm seeing Shane here saying that there is no multi-classing in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
There is not. It is weird how they go about it, because a big point of why D&D 5e is so weirdly balanced and why subclasses come in at level 3, especially now in the 2024 rules where even warlocks get their subclass level 3, is that you can't just take one level dips into things just to get all their powerful stuff and leave. There's an entire separate thing for that called archetypes, where you can replace one of your class feats as one of your class feats that you can get like every even level in exchange for an archetype. Lets you get access to some abilities and some feats from another class.
Okay, goes good. That's where a lot of the flexibility in D&D comes from. Is the also I'm on fire now. I'm in excruciating pain, but that's where the flexibility in D&D comes from. Is a lot of the multi-classing. Like, I multi-classed a bard into ranger once because the campaign kind of pointed in the direction that my bard would learn the survival skills for that. And he wanted to make like a really interesting character because his whole motivation was gathering lost history and lore and preserving it in song so that the illiterate masses would remember their history. So the ranger skill actually wound up leaning really hard into him, like, you know, diving into the ruins and stuff like that to gain access to the lost knowledge.
Mhm.
But having also just a shit ton of classes that, even though you can't multi-class, they're still very flexible and customizable in and of their own rights, does sound like a really, really interesting way to go about that. Probably, honestly, despite the lack of multi-classing, it sounds even more flexible.
Because it has like baby multi-classing, but it's not like as OP strong as you can create some fucked up bullshit in D&D 5e.
Oh yeah, no. I allowed a power gamer in my game once. He mixed assassin rogue, war cleric, and champion fighter. And his goal was just to nuke everything and take no damage. The rest of the players did not like playing with him very much. Lesson learned.
Yeah, that's why Pathfinder 2 is like such a team game, because you can't really just make a build that can insta kill everything for you. You can. It's just like you need people to help back you up, or you'll get your shit kicked in.
No, you need them to hold off the enemy while you charge up your Dragon Ball Z attack.
You need friendship.
Yeah. The most powerful weapon to use against the forces of evil is the power of friendship and extreme violence.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, what Shamwolf said, with there being no multi-classing and it coming through different feats, you still like have a full level as like if you're like a level 4 fighter and want to take an archetype and rogue, you're still a level 4 fighter, so you don't lose any class abilities that you get normally from being level 4. And like so on and so forth.
The power of friendship in this gun I found. That's how you know you have the adventure
It
in your
happens a
party.
lot. But yeah, no, every class is its own thing. There's like 29 classes, and like there's a lot of different things about like some of the classes that I think it's important to point out. That being like Paladin is strong and can hurt, but it's not gonna be invincible in one shot. They're primarily a defensive class. They use their reactions to protect their homies and punish enemies for going after your homies, or punish enemies for going after you and stuff like that. Whereas stuff like Fighter and Monk don't have subclasses.
Because they're so versatile as is.
Their entire thing is based around feat versatility. You can go for a zero magic monk, a fully exclusively like going into weird key spells monk. You can do a mix and match if you want.
So if I want to play Goku,
Fighter, you can whip
Monk's
out
the way
13
to
different
go.
types of feats you want to do for weapons and stuff. What?
So if I want to be a Goku, I just play Monk.
Yeah, level 18, key form. Become Super Saiyan.
Hell yeah. See, plus the archetype system lists to build interesting niche mini classes that you can dip into, like your rogue who has the medic archetype acts as a healer. That reminds me, because like
Yeah, there's 100 of those. I didn't want to delve into it too much.
Like I try to do stuff like that in DD. Like when I play clerics, I usually like to play the Trickster Cleric. Also, Miraculous Water Bottle, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Belgic Toad Tavern. I like to play the Trickster Cleric in D&D because I like to sneak my character off someplace and pop off some stealthy ranged attacks while sending my illusion around to cast the healing magic on the party, and they can't stop me because they can't hurt the illusion, but I can still cast spells through the illusion so long as I have a line of sight. So, like, being able to, like, do stuff like that without having to lock yourself into one very particular subclass or one very complicated multiclass. I don't know, yeah, I definitely see why you guys are so obsessed with feet.
A lot of weird things to do. There's also a very popular variant rule that called free archetype, where you just get an archetype for free as well as your class feat. So you just make a bunch of weird shit. There's just a lot of stuff like that. Also, a big thing that's important to talk about is building like a martial caster character is harder. Like, there are classes specifically about being a martial like caster, but they do casting in a different weird way called wave caster, where you have limited spell slots similar to that of a warlock in exchange for being able to stab and cast things good. Because they wanted there to be like a different thing between. So you're not running around as like, what's it called, as a Bladesinger wizard, having the full 9th level capacity as a wizard and still attacking better than a fighter with a sword.
God, fighter gets shafted so hard in D&D 5e.
And now fighter's like one of the best character classes in Pathfinder 2, just because exclusively of it's weirdly versatile with what it can stab with, and it stabs with it very, very good at legendary proficiency. It just hits better. That's its whole thing. My power is I'm him.
So basically, Pathfinder 2e fighter is like the McDonald's Sprite. It just hits different.
Yeah, you're like, my boss fight should be great. That wizard rolled a 13 and crit him. Oh no.
You put the
Yeah, no, there's certain classes like
Magus. Ooh.
I love Magus. Magus is the go-to Gish class. It is the martial spellcaster. Its whole thing is just infusing your weapon and or body with magic and spells that you cast, so you can attack enemies with both at one time. It's like 2 actions to cast a 2-action spell and stab a man, and if you crit with a stab, you crit with a spell.
Ooh, I could see that. I could see that getting nasty if you set it up right.
Yeah, that's why
Especially
I'm a
with
Magus.
how Pathfinder's crit rules work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's hot. I like that.
They're really fun. I like it. Also, True Strike is such a strong spell. You can use it once per 10 minutes.
Oh, I didn't even think about the whole... Like, the action system would make True Strike actually viable. Because True Strike is dog shit in D&D. Because there's no way to balance
now
it.
It's one action to be able to roll your next attack twice and take the higher result.
Yeah. Like... With D&D, it's like the cantrip. It's like, okay, either you make it take an action, at which point you are better off just attacking twice, or you make it a bonus action, in which case there's literally no reason for you not cast this every turn. It is impossible to balance. But that action system just automatically fixes that problem, doesn't it? That's an elegant solution to a lot of problems.
So sometimes you'll just see a Magus just chilling next to an enemy, cast the one action True Strike, and then cast a Spell Strike and obliterate a man.
As I always do love just occasionally popping an enemy like a pimple.
And literally, usually, I cast Disintegrate onto my sword, I'm gonna hit you with it, and you're like...
just the freaking, like, the baby covered in ash mage, just like...
Yeah! Literally. You can get some crazy stuff, but you have to spend your next turn recharging your spell strike, so you can't just spam it.
You just walk up to an enemy as like the little goblin Magus, look up at them with your big ol' eyes, like, GM, fuck this enemy in particular. True Strike, Disintegrate Blade. Ah!
So I cast Kill. Hit them with the fucking Peter Griffin rice cake.
Like, listen, there's no kill like overkill. Nothing feels as good as crit on a spell strike.
It is a high you'll be chasing for the rest of your life.
I cast Thrungle. True Strike has a once per encounter cooldown.
That's how strong it is.
God damn. I mean, yeah, like even with the actions, like, again, it'd be like, why not just use that every turn? So I can definitely see why you would need a cooldown on that.
That's why they changed it, because it used to be you can use it how many spell slots you had pre-remaster, and the remaster they're like, people keep using it every turn. We gotta calm this down a little bit. So your once per turn, I obliterate a man. Like your once per fight obliteration beam.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely see that getting way out of hand. You know what's better than critting a spell strike? Critting a spell strike using a gun. I've always loved the idea of using guns to cast spells, especially after watching Saga of Tanya the Evil.
It's guns are weird because guns you need to reload after shooting it once.
Oh, there's no revolvers.
No.
My disappointment is
But guns also have something called fatal on them, which means if you crit with it, it swaps your damage dice for a higher dice and gives you an extra dice of that on top of it.
Ooh.
So if you crit a man, you obliterate them immediately. For the most part.
That makes up for not being able to be a cowboy. Also, Dinah God points out that apparently the best spell in the game is Dinosaur Fart. Oh, sorry, Dinosaur Fort. I thought that said Dinosaur Fart.
Yeah, back in the playtest for Pathfinder 2e, Dinosaur Form was misspelled in the thing as Dinosaur Fort. It got autocorrect or something, and it became a meme in the community for a couple of years until they printed a fucking spell called Dinosaur Fort, where you just summon a giant castle mounted on a bunch of T-Rexes that can walk around and do shit.
Oh my god, I love that. There's a couple of guns with magazines. I don't want a gun with a magazine. I want a revolver. I know it's just the katana of the gun world. I don't care. The barrel, the chamber goes spinny, and it makes me feel like a cowboy. A yeehaw.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Barbarians aren't like a big thing with barbarians is that they are not like in D&D 5e. Rage makes you like unkillable and be really annoying. And Pathfinder 2e, barbarians are kill.
I mean, in D&D 5e, barbarians are also kill. Like, you have to be constantly fighting to maintain your rage. The problem with barbarians, I feel, in D&D 5e is that D&D 5e is balanced around the idea that you are having multiple encounters in an adventuring day. You are intended to be, like, having, 3, 4, 5 encounters between long rests. But the way most people run the game, unless there is some sort of like a hard in-game time limit for something, it's they have an encounter, long rest. Have an encounter, long rest. That's why in that same campaign I ran where I used the variant encumbrance system, I also ran the gritty realism rest variant where a long rest is a week and a short rest is 8 hours. So that made the balancing for a lot of things feel a lot better. Also, the warlock felt like a god without actually being overpowered.
Barbarians in Pathfinder 2e don't have a cooldown on when they can rage. They can just keep doing it. And they have gigantic fuck off damage bonuses. Like, if you're like a giant sea barbarian, you can get up to like a plus 36 on every attack, of like plus 36 damage on every attack.
God damn. That is terrifying. I can't even count that high.
So like, they will just kill you. They're like the epitome of a threat tank, because if you ignore them, they'll kill you. If you don't ignore them, they'll still kill you. If you do ignore them, they'll kill you. If you don't ignore them, they'll kill you harder because you're hurting them.
God damn. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
barbarians hit hard at D&D, but Jesus.
You know, they have like usually less AC overall,
Mhm.
but they will kill you. But they have like big HP pools. They have 1d12 HP per level. Oh yeah, I should say that to talk about that. Pathfinder 2, you don't roll for HP, you just get dead.
That's how a lot of my DMs usually wind up running HP in D&D
Yeah, they're like,
anyways.
it's easier to balance a game if you know what you're giving your players.
Yeah, like there's a part of me that likes to just roll dice for everything and deal with the random odds, but there's also a part of me that dreads the rolling a 1 for HP and having to deal with that for the rest of the campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just get the max HP you'd get for your class.
Yeah, I think I prefer that, honestly. You've got a barbarian player in a game and he's constantly critting like 130 plus damage.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I ever rolled that much damage in a tabletop RPG, I would just immediately pass out from ecstasy.
Yeah, no, but barbarians can get big fuck off numbers. And it goes the same for rogues. Rogues have, I think, slightly less sneak attack damage than 5e, but they can just do it multiple times per turn without a limit on it. This also includes like out of your turn and stuff like that too. So like you could just be really mean and just stab a guy 3 times and explode them.
Nobody tell Ace about the Pathfinder rogues. No one tell Ace about the Pathfinder rogues.
And you know how I said that like not every class has attack opportunity?
Unless they take like particular features.
Yeah, rogue has a particular feature they can take. Whenever you stab an enemy, if they're next to it, they can stab them as a reaction.
So wait, the rogue has a feat that allows other people to take attack of opportunities?
No, the rogue has a feat that lets them pretty much take an attack opportunity, but the trigger, instead of being somebody moving away from you, is somebody stabs the person next to you, and you can just stab them too.
It's like, hey,
you just double down on them.
Hey, that's my pincushion.
Literally. Also, this is going to be not Pathfinder 2e. Starfinder 2e has a operative, which is kind of like a space secret agent type of class that has a reaction called Kill Steal, where if you attack an enemy twice, they could just use a reaction to attack them as well.
The barbarian top has that feat, lets him murder better. That is disgusting. I love it. You love the game as a GM too, because monsters feel way more interesting. I mean, with all of this on the player's hands, I imagine the monsters have to have a lot of tools
yeah, monsters
to be a
are
challenge.
fucking nutty. Every monster, no matter how basic they are, has at least one cool ability for them. Like even but it also makes their stat blocks really big as you level up, and they get even more cooler things.
Oh, so that's why D&D players won't play Pathfinder. None of us can read.
Yeah, Pathfinder 2e has like an explicit thing of like you know how to play your game.
Also, I'm being told that in Pathfinder there is the air repeater, which has 6 shots and is chambered like a revolver.
Yeah, it's just really weak.
God damn it.
Because it has the what's it called? The ability to not have to reload.
I can't have nothing. Can't have nothing in this house. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, like even like the smallest goblin, like level -1 goblin warrior has like an ability you can use. And then you get all the way to fucking shit like big ass like ancient dragons that have a huge fuck off like stat blocks.
So basically, this is less of a game where you could just wing it. Like with D&D, there have been a lot of times where I've had to just wing a game. But it sounds like with Pathfinder, you're going to need a lot more prep work.
No.
Oh.
Because the encounter building rules work. I had a slide for this.
She lined us up perfectly, chat. See, this is how we know intelligence is her main stat. Well, secondary main stat. It's not her dump stat. Mm-hmm. She played us like a goddamn fiddle.
Yeah, the encounter building rules work really, really well. Use them. No, like seriously, use them. This isn't DD5e. You'll clear players if you don't use them. I've seen it happen so many times. I swear to God, I don't want to see another Reddit thread about how the game's too hard because you threw a player level +4 monster in your level 2 party. I swear that all things are good and also unholy. I will kill you.
Okay, but this doesn't sound like, you winging it. This sounds like you sit there and you do prep work to make sure that you don't kill your players.
I mean, everything has a level -1 to level 25. And everything gives you experience relative to your party's level. And players level below 1,000 experience. And the game tells you flat out how much of a threat someone can be compared to the level. So if you are level 1 and you throw like 2 level 1 enemies and a monster at your players, it'll be a low threat encounter, and you can give them this much experience. So you just gotta know what's a level 1 monster? Goblin, kobold, little slime over there. Put those in there. Fuck it. There are literally thousands of monsters, and all the rules are online for free. So you just Google, search for a monster of that level, pop a couple in there, be good to go.
Level 1 Phoebe? Nah. Phoebe is top of the line. Phoebe is peak goblin. If there was a tabletop RPG tuber gacha game, Phoebe would be the limited event 5-star that everybody would shell their money out to get for.
But yeah, no, it's really easy to just create an encounter randomly, like just 1 minute of Googling, like using the websites and stuff like that, because the game is free. For the most part, online, its SRD is free, and you just look at it whenever. And just go to the creatures, filter it by level, and just be like, yeah, I need like 2 level 3 creatures for this, fuck it. And just immediately pop up with like, oh cool, I'll use a bunyip and a centaur.
A bunyip? Isn't that one of the vehicles from Ty the Tasmanian Tiger?
Yeah, it's like a weird mythological thing, like in like real world stuff. It's like a cryptid kind of thing, I think, from Australia.
Ah, that actually makes a lot of sense. And if you want to make a custom monster, guidelines for that are really good. Oh, that's great, because I love to make... Again,
yeah, no, the monster creation rules are very in-depth. You can make a lot of freaky, weird shit with it. They have tables and stuff so you can see like exactly like, your monster is this level. It should probably have stats within this range, depending on what type of monster it is. And like, here's the things for it saves, everything like that. And here's the cool abilities you could probably put on it, or here's some things to help you determine the strength of it, what an ability would be.
Because I love making my own settings, and a lot of times that involves making my own monsters, especially because I really love to have my players have to deal with some like Lovecraftian cult bullshit. So I'll just like make monsters that shouldn't make any sense in this world because they don't belong to this world. So that is good to know.
Yeah, we have a ton of those.
Yeah. A bunyip is a seal that yearns to kill, so it's a seal.
Mm-hmm.
Custom monsters are way easier at Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
It's really fun. My GM uses all of her bosses are very much like custom monsters she makes with the rules.
You can just get so easy. That's what I usually want to do with 5e. I find a monster that's close to what I want to do, and I tweak the stats a little bit, and I tweak their abilities a little bit. And bada bing, bada boom, I have my custom monster.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
There's a lot of fun stuff you can do.
I'm gonna say this XP system is kind of confusing me, but I feel like if I actually got my hands on it, it would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, players level up 1,000 XP, so everything is based on your player's like level to whatever you're making. So, like it says down here, party level is your base party level. So if your party is collectively level 5, because everyone in your party is level 5. If you have a party level +1 monster, which would be level 6, it would be a low to moderate threat boss type thingy.
So
because it's higher level, higher stats, and it'll give you 60 XP.
So a single monster at the same level as your party is typically considered to be an equivalent fight for a like an easier encounter.
Yeah, just like a trivial threat to be like, it's not going to do much to them. They're not going to have that much of a struggle with it. Little baby experience. This also goes for adding multiple of the same creature. So if you have like 4 party level -2 creatures, that would be 4 times 20, which is 80 experience, which is a moderate level encounter.
So like when a monster has its level, like in D&D, challenge rating is usually, if I remember correctly, based on the idea of a party of 4 fighting this thing. So for example, a CR5 monster in D&D is in theory a moderate challenge for 4 level 5 adventurers. Is that about how it's balanced with this as well?
Kind of. Usually, you go if you want to do that, it'd be like a level above or level 2 or 2 levels above. If they're pretty even matched, maybe even a little bit stronger for just a single creature that is like your level just because of action economy type of stuff. You get your shit beat out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a lot of encounter builders and like calculators and stuff like that out there that you can use to just instantly plug in a level range. Like my party is level like 5, and there's 4 of them. And you're like, I need Monstar, and I'll be like, yeah, cool. This level range is what would be good for them if you want it to be like a threatening encounter or not, or like here's what you can do.
All right.
Because they're like 1,000 Monstars,
Yeah.
and they just came out with a new bestiary a couple of days from now, I think, in like a week. It's pretty poggers. I have it. It's a really good book.
I'll have to definitely take a look through them. I remember I definitely used, for a Halloween one shot, I definitely used a bunch of monsters from a Pathfinder book. And I just did my best to tweak their numbers for D&D 5th edition.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucky Monstar creatures that I love. The aberration, like, monster trait is the most best thing ever.
What's the aberration trait do in Pathfinder?
It's just everything in Pathfinder 2 has a trait attached to it, or at least one. Sometimes have a couple that can designate what something is or what something does. For the most part, aberrations are just things that are not from here, and they should not be here for the most part.
Okay, so like beholders and mind flayers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Usually, what is it called? Like Ricketogs, Gagateths, all sorts of weird shit. It's like this is from beyond the planes or corruption of the natural order that should not exist.
Die, monster! You
Like
don't
when he-
belong here!
It literally, like one of the ancestries you can play as. Like the things go for players too. Like everything has traits, including you. One of the ancestors you can play as is called Flesh Warp, where you had some form of fucked up thing happen to you where you can no longer be technically considered a part of your original ancestry. You are something wholly different now. And you have the aberration trait instead of other trait you might have had beforehand because look at you.
I feel called out on this. I feel pretty called out on this.
No, you don't have nearly enough body horror.
I'm sorry, V-Roid only lets me do freaking humanoid. They just recently added the ability to make tails.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted to, like, have, like, my stitches, like, split open to reveal more eyes and stuff underneath me. I wanted to go real eldritch, but I don't have the skill for that.
Yeah, no, there's like, you can search up like any type of creature tag that might happen or something like that. Everything has tags. Like there's undead tag for just quickly finding anything undead. There's just a lot of weird freaky shit. And I love them all. There's too many, like what am I gonna do with this? Like what is this guy? Who made him?
Sometimes that's the real terror.
Like what am I gonna do with this?
I know what I would do with this.
It's a freaky ass thing.
Smash. Next question. But,
Like it is a large size thing. That's like a bus-sized weird pyramid tentacle crab thing.
This is the kind of monster design speaks to me though. Like the horny bar jokes aside, I love like body horror monsters, and I love just like fleshy abominations that look like they don't belong
Mhm.
in this plane of existence.
Now I want to try to find the one. Oh god, what are they called? It's a type of monster that exists exclusively because sometimes people fuck up their teleportation spells, and sometimes it doesn't go well.
Oh, some Star Trek bullshit.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember what it's called. Oh, an amalgamite.
The things from underneath
It's like, this is
Alfie's
what you-
lab at Undertale.
Yeah, like you don't want to become that. That's what happens when you fuck up.
Phoebe, if I play Pathfinder with you, I'm not using any teleport spells.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wherever it is we gotta go, we're fucking walking. We're taking our Lamborghinis.
And it's like they've become such like a fucking unstable mess of teleportation magic. They can mess with your teleportation magic if you try to use it, or they just teleport at will wherever they want to go. And they start to warp you horribly alongside them if you stay within like an aura near them long enough.
I hate
Like you can feel your own body start to stretch and like warble and get all messed up, and you're like, we gotta get rid of this guy.
Ow, 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 ow.
I am going sleeps. We'll watch the VOD tomorrow, I think.
All right, well, thank you so much. If you want to watch the VOD after Twitch deletes it, I also am streaming this onto YouTube so that the VOD is saved automatically. Yep, you have a good sleeps. Yeah, but no,
Yeah, there's just a lot of weird creatures and a lot of fucky shit in this game.
See, on the one hand, I hate it. It's disgusting. I don't want to be near it. But you also said, oh, I really should add a YouTube command, shouldn't I? Hold on. But yeah, but you mentioned like you feel yourself stretched, and all I can think of is that for us, for at least a brief moment, that would probably feel so good. Cause like
You're like, wow, this is pretty nice. Wait.
Like my back is all fucked up. Also, here's the link to my YouTube. Oh, and thank you. Like you remember that scene in The Incredibles when the robots try to tear Mr. Incredible apart? Also, the Green Ghost, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. And Kitsune Warlock, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Belching Toad Tavern. Hope you enjoy your time here with us. Yeah, where the robot is like pulling Mr. Incredible apart, and you hear like his back just like crack, and then all of a sudden he just feels amazing and is able to fight in its full form again. I watched that scene with so much envy.
Like, I love how he was getting his ass beat before that scene happened, and then as soon as he cracked his back, he was like, hell yeah, and ripped it and like ripped its arm off.
Like,
bro was just living with that pain forever, and he finally was like, oh.
Like, I miss deadlifting so much. I can't do that anymore because of my back. I just need a giant killer robot to stretch me out so I can be the man I used to be. I'm sick of walking around with this wooden fourth leg.
And I'm just trying to think of like all of like the funny, horrifying, messed up monsters that I love the design of.
Oh yeah, love body horror, like some Cronenberg shit. Delicious.
There's a lot of those. There's a couple of like, because like flesh warping is a thing that happens in this universe and it sucks and you want it to happen to you. So there's a lot of flesh warp monsters.
Yeah, so before compared.
Don't mess with things that you don't control.
Yeah. So before compared that area between those two kingdoms as like basically the stalker area, you know, the exclusion zone and stalker. Now I've been trying to wrap my head around how to homebrew a D&D game that's basically just fantasy stalker. I don't need to do that. I can just play Pathfinder. It's all right there, and all of its horrifying goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot of not great things. But also a lot of cool things. There's really cute dogs sometimes. There's also horrifying creations beyond what we can think of.
They're both good boys.
Probably.
I will pet the both of them. There's also the Skunk Lord, the Conspirator Dragon. Ooh.
Oh yeah, the dragons are weird in Pathfinder.
I like weird.
When what's it called? When the remaster happened and the whole jail thing, they're like, we should redo our dragons to make them interesting.
I mean, I do like D&D 5e dragons. I mean, you've seen my blue dragon OC. Like,
Mhm.
you know I have an appreciation for them, but, variety's the spice of life, and I do like weird.
Yeah, they're like because some of them are strange, like the conspirator dragon or like the what's dragon is it? Like the resurrection dragon, but they have some like that are just like the older dragons, but with more stuff on them. Like the red dragon is now called the cinder dragon, and it is fucking mean.
As they should be.
Like its cone of fire. It not only like hurts, like it not only like hits you on fire, it literally lights you on fire. So you have persistent fire damage, and also the entire area is clouded in a giant cloud of smoke that the dragon can see through, but you can't.
Ooh.
And then it has a special ability where if you're on fire, if you have persistent fire damage on you, it can just use one action to instantly make you take 5d6 fire damage, as it just fully ignites that fire on you.
So basically, there's a whole ass dragon that could just WM1 you like the fucking pyro from TF2.
And also has a really mean curse that I really like, that it can curse, it has like an area around it that can curse you and all your friends. That if you fall like victim to it, if you like fail your save against the curse, all of your damage you do ends up being fire damage, which it is immune to.
I could see that curse being useful outside of the fight, though. Like, get the dragon's curse, and then you just turn around and become the troll slayer.
Mm-hmm. Like if you succeed your save against it, all your damage is only fire for that one next attack you make. But if you crit fail, it's like for 10 minutes.
Oh, so it's not like a permanent curse. It's just like a temporary.
No, it's not a permanent curse, but it's enough for the dragon to kill you.
I always like the idea of like finding a way to make use of a curse.
Mm-hmm.
The evilest
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
the
Requiem
Requiem
dragon who can hit your healer with only roll 1 on heals. That is the evilest thing I have ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there's a dragon that instead of magically shapeshifting just scrunches himself down into a flesh suit. God damn.
Yeah, that's the conspirator dragon. They just have fun infiltrating politics and important things just to fuck with people.
And they couldn't use magic like a normal ass dragon to transform. No, they
No,
fucking
no, they
squeeze
have, like, a
themselves
weird
down
skin
into
suit.
a flesh suit that's like 1/10 of their size. I'm getting back pains just hearing that.
They just conform their body all weird, like, and then if push comes to shove and they have to throw down, they just explode out of it, and you're like hit with fucking skin shrapnel as it's just a full dragon in front of you.
That is horrifying. I love it.
They hoard knowledge and webs of information and like stuff like that. That's their whole thing. Is they just really like to fuck with people and influence things. They just have lots and lots and lots of people and connective webs of just like information. They're really weird.
Well, damn. If you want cursed dragons, check out the Lenorms. They are wingless dragons, and if you kill them, they hit you with a death curse. There's
Yeah,
a
they
whole
don't
kingdom
like
where you can only become a ruler if you
dragons.
kill one and survive.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh darn. That is horrifying. Would be perfect in one of my gothic horrors more inspired campaigns.
Like the guillotine golem.
I'm sorry, the fucking what?
The guillotine golem.
That is the most French shit I have ever heard in my life.
Well, they came from Gault, which is a place that's permanently in a French Revolution.
So I assume it's just as it's said. It's a walking guillotine.
Yeah, it's like a big walking guillotine with like guillotine blade hands and stuff like that, and its body is composed of the core center of the guillotine. And if it crits you, it cuts your head off.
I think I've gotten annihilated by that a couple of times in Elden Ring. Yeah, there's Conan versus robots that was mentioned earlier. Fafnir's the king if you slay a curse. So, is it Fafnir, like from Nordic legend, the dwarf that turned into a dragon because of his
little
greed?
dwarf though.
I would imagine for Fafnir, the curse would be more like a greed-based thing. Like, If you take his treasure, you too will become a greed dragon. The guillotine they're made of is called a final blade. It doesn't just kill you, it also seals your soul in the blade forever, so no one can ever resurrect you. So basically,
you can have.
It's that one chick from the shitty Suicide Squad movie. This is the guillotine golem. He has the final blade. It traps your soul inside it. I recommend not getting killed by him. And then that never comes up for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It does
You
take care of your
can have a
normal
companion now made out of them.
Oh no! I
Yeah,
don't
no,
see
after they
any
stop the-
ethical application of that.
Literally, after they've finally in lore had stopped the permanent French Revolution, kind of, they destroyed all but like 5 of the final blades. But sometimes the souls inside the pieces of the final blade don't like not being in the thing, so they sometimes come and amalgamize together into the humanoid shape of fucked up blades. You can have one as an animal companion.
Jesus. How does
It's pretty
anyone
pog.
live in this setting? Like,
It's kind of hard.
it sounds it. Like, like everything with Pathfinder is like, you know, all like, you know, that I hear about people talk about, like, you know, it's all, you know, super wholesome and all that. You got all these like lovely gay gods, and it's like, you know, everyone's super happy. And you see, you're talking about the monsters. It's like, this is a horrifying nightscape. This is a realm where nobody lives. How is there a kingdom? This should have been overran long ago. How the fuck did anyone get past the hunter-gatherer stage of civilization? I love it.
Yeah.
Fucking brutal, dude.
Oh, there's no picture of a gray bladeling. Now I gotta find it. Because it's really cool.
I'm imagining the origami assassin from... what was it called? God, I am blanking.
Oh.
It's that indie animation with like a bunch of villains discussing like how to deal with their hero. Oh man, it has like a really brutal fight scene.
I don't know, but now I'm interested. What are you? Are you it? No. I'm trying to find it because like, it's literally the coolest thing in the world. Oh, there it is. Where are you, my bladeling?
Yeah, that does
I
sound like
want to
something
make a
you'd be...
character that's based around having one.
Blade Link sounds 110% like something you would be super into having. You and your damn knives.
Listen, it's really cool.
Apparently, this is the first time I blanked on the name because I see in my YouTube search history origami assassin animation. The Red Eclipse. The Red Eclipse is an indie animation, like it's like based on classic Batman, but the hero's called the Red Eclipse, and it's just like a bunch of villains gathered around discussing how they're gonna deal with them, and then someone brings in this origami assassin. Oh my god, that's even worse than what I was imagining.
Yeah, it's a friend. It can kill you forever.
I think I know why it's so angry. It can never get a hug.
Like, it is fucked up and full of souls. You don't want to be full of souls.
We need to get like someone impervious to blades and just give it a hug and that'll calm it down. Oh god, my head. I'm filled. My head is filled with so much Pathfinder knowledge now. It's overwhelming. I can feel my intelligence modifier growing. Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
You know what's really insane?
What?
Animal companions in Pathfinder 2e are pretty strong and really cool, and they have special abilities, each one dependent on the animal or creature that you have. Like, as like your thing is called its advanced maneuver. Advanced maneuver, the Great Blading, is possessing strike, where it stabs you and puts part of its own soul mess inside of you and takes control of your body and makes you kill your friends.
That is horrifying. Once again, I have to ask, how the fuck is there anyone still alive in this setting with shit like this running around?
It's fine. It's fine.
It's an entire world made out of Australia.
Also, a big thing I want to talk about, just like this has nothing to do with the gameplay itself for Pathfinder, but I love the art style of Pathfinder because it's like more like, in some places, like a lot of places, it's more realistic / grittier in a way that makes things really fucked up. My favorite will always be the gibbering mouther. Because, like, you know what a gibbering mouther in 5e looks like, right?
Oh yeah, I've used those a couple of times.
You know, it's like kind of slimy-ish. It's kind of weird looking, you know. Like, everyone's familiar with this guy. Like, everyone loves this doofus.
Yeah. He's that guy, you go like, hey, yo, what that mouth do?
This is a Pathfinder one.
Oh, what in the after Earth is that? That is the humanity lost fucking.
Pathfinder has a lot more realistic, fucky, ugh type shit going on. I love it.
What in the Cronenberg?
Yeah. There's so many weird, fucked up monsters.
That's gonna haunt my nightmares tonight.
My personal favorite monster is the Gagateth. They look like this.
Oh, Jesus.
They're these large, weird spider-like things covered in eyeballs that like eat anything they can. With like they're a bunch of mouths. And they speak a language nobody but Gagateths understand. And they hunt in packs sometimes.
Imagine finding that in an underground lake and watching go the speed of a jet ski. I think I would rather just kill myself.
And then with the mythic rules and stuff like that, which adds like spooky god powers to your party, but also has fucky gaudy-ish enemies they can fight. Here's like that Eldritch Gagateth version.
Oh god. That looks like something I would fight in Bloodborne. In fact, I think I did fight that in Bloodborne. Pretty sure that thing's in the frickin' academy. This is great though. I love gothic horror monsters. Like especially the.
And if anyone here is not chill with body horror, look away now because I'm going to show you what the real horrors of flesh warping can do to a motherfucker.
Chat, this is your warning. Content warning. If you are bothered by body horror, look away. We will let you know when the image is off the screen. Just turn us into a podcast for a couple minutes.
I'm only going to mention it briefly, but this is what real like flesh warping can do. You don't want that.
God. It looks like the Master from the original Fallout, but
it
somehow
does.
even
it's not
worse
great.
And even greater agony.
You don't want that. That's specifically what happens when drow get a hold of elves.
Oh, that is fucked up.
It is.
That is some I've heard of casual racism. This is competitive racism.
You don't want that. And this one's not gonna be fucky. This is just an aberration that I really like thematically. It's my favorite monster in all of Pathfinder.
Oh, I love that design. Also, for anyone who was looking away because they were squeamish, you can look again.
Yeah, look at Disaster Cowboy.
I want to play that guy. I want to be that guy. That looks cool.
These are large-sized creatures that their whole thing is that they push places that are on the brink of extinction to that edge, and like they push them over it so they go away forever. No one knows where they come from. No one knows how they come to exist. There's extremely few of them. There's not a whole lot, but they are literally walking natural disasters made to, for some reason, some purpose, no one knows why, to just make sure something dies.
I love him. He's so edgy. I love my edgy cowboys.
You want to think that's edgy? Like, do you want to know the flavor text for them before their like lore blurb even pops up?
Sure.
Streams run dry. The earth cracks, green leaves turn brown and shatter, and the creature walks on. They literally, their feet, they're like them walking onto you will fucking destroy the earth around them. It turns like everywhere they walk turns into difficult terrain. Their blood is toxic and will destroy anything plant-wise that it falls on.
He's like the
And, as well as
smog
poison you
monster
if you
from
cut it.
Ferngully.
It's literally toxic love. Got the hexes in them. They have a furnace inside their heart that keeps constantly pushing out horrible poisonous smoke. It's literally just like pollution to the max, and it's the best thing ever, and I love them.
This is what what Dr. Robotnik would make after he had a mental breakdown.
It's just weird, and no one knows where they came from, and I love them. They're goofy.
Also, Kitsune Warlock's like, if I buy a meat smoker, I'm maybe get the flesh forges.
I mean, it's pretty Pogger's name. It's something you don't want to have happen to you, but it's really cool.
No, that is cool. Listen, that is a really cool thing to fight in a game. If I saw that in real life, I would get a gun to kill myself.
Literally. And there's a lot of other ones that are also freaky, but I only want to show the one because I don't want to linger on it for too long because it's really gross and makes people squeamish.
Yeah, I've had an issue before where, like, I've had viewers be like, I want to stay here and listen to you yap, but you're playing Scorn and I'm too squeamish for this. So ever since that, I've been a little mindful of not going too hard in the body horror stuff.
Yeah, it's fucking awful, and I love it. But yeah, no, don't go to Pathfinder. There's a lot of evil there. I know that some people are. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention a lore thing. Russians exist.
Like something based off Russia or just actual Russians?
No, like Russians from World War I era Russia exist in Pathfinder.
The fuck?
They came over with Anastasia.
The fuck?
Well, you see, Rasputin is the son of Baba Yaga, and he went to Russia to do a bunch of fuck shit there. And then once he wanted more power, he tried to kidnap his mom.
The fuck?
And then that made the whole kingdom get all fucky. And then so when he was in Russia, the Pathfinder Society had to go to Russia and get her back. And while they were there, they stole Nikola Tesla technology and machine guns, and some Russians decided to immigrate. So you can learn Russian as a language.
Oh god, we cannot let the Pathfinder world discover CS:GO.
I think right now in the Pathfinder world, if we were to go to Earth again, it would be almost at the brink of World War II.
So what I'm hearing is we could go to the Pathfinder world, we could build up a magical Tesla Russian army, and we can Zerg rush Berlin before the atrocities.
Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause
chat.
the timeline is like linear to the Pathfinders, but it's still in the past. So
I need an official Pathfinder strategy game where you are gathering up Pathfinder Russians to go stop the Holocaust. We
I'm
are
trying to
going
find
to
the one
completely
baller
change
ass art.
history. What was that?
I'm trying to see if I can find the one baller ass art that I always used to show people what the fuck I'm talking about when I talk about Reign of Winter, that whole adventure path. Because it was like a 6-part adventure where you're just in Russia and you have to fight Rasputin. You have to kill that motherfucker, I think, 3 times.
I mean, he is Rasputin. Has anyone ever been able to
I love
actually
that they
kill
made
this
that
man?
part of the story. You kill him, then he comes back later, and you're like, damn it! And you kill him again, and he comes back later, and you're like, damn it!
I mean, it's Rasputin. What do you expect?
Yeah, they like a level
plumbed him,
18
poisoned
oracle.
him, drowned him, shot him. Motherfucker still wouldn't die.
And now he has spells.
Ra Rasputin. Dos Fadanya. Which means I could use a shitty Russian accent for one of my characters in one of your games, and it will
would be
actually be
canon.
lore appropriate. It's canon now.
Literally.
You have to kill him 3 times while his vampire monk allies beat the shit out of you.
No, you're like, God damn it, please.
You're off for SW? Star Wars? It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for your later. Well, it is nice meeting you, Brebel, and I saw you join the Discord. Welcome to the tavern. Yeah, you know what, Phoebe? Thank you for bringing so many lovely, lovely people to my tavern today.
Yeah.
These people in chat have been great.
I have cultivated a bunch of nerds.
As you should, as you should. We like nerds. Nerds are the best. Rasputin? Is that what they called Rasputin when he turned 13? Rasputin?
And you lost them all.
Could be an actual Russian isekai to Galorion. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Am I going to really sit here and study pre-World War I Russian history to make a meme character? I might. Thanks to time fuckery, Baba Yaga has met the Starfighter character Zoe, which means the Baba Yaga has seen future death reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he's pronounced. Dog, I'm an American. Do you think I care about how other countries pronounce their names? Okay, Rasputin. All right. Not Rasputin, Rasputin. Man, I thought like D&D had some wild stuff, like where they had like aliens crash landing on their worlds and stuff. And, like,
There's so many aliens in Pathfinder. Dude. Elves are aliens in Pathfinder lore.
Like the thing with like D&D is like the really crazy stuff is usually off in its own setting, or it's like something that touched down in the setting from another location out of context. Here, they're all just one big hodgepodge stew. Kind of reminds me of Might and Magic, because Might and Magic had like demons and dragons and shit, but it turned out those were aliens. And you would like you would have like games taking place on different alien planets, but if you didn't know about that, they all just looked like different generic medieval fantasy.
Found it.
Elves are aliens? I always said that elves were just cosmic cockroaches.
Elves and ratfolk and automatons are aliens. But, you know, this is art from the game. I love it. The fighter iconic is just pulling the Tuchanka cart. Well, one of the elf lady, I think she's the swashbuckler, just starts unloading into people.
Okay, yeah. If I play with you, we definitely got to get some of that Russian tech in there. I cannot
There's just a
resist.
lot of fucky fun stuff.
I cannot resist being like a little goblin or a kobold, just getting access to the big Daka.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, so does Pathfinder take place in Starfinder, or is Starfinder the future of Pathfinder?
Starfinder's like a future alternate universe of Pathfinder.
Okay. So kind of like the difference between Warhammer and Warhammer 40k. Not exactly the same continuity, but a lot of the shared DNA. That's the Cavalier and the Gunslinger iconic.
Listen, I don't remember. They changed a lot of them. The Gunslinger iconic in 2 is a hot dwarf woman now with a giant gun.
Hey, yo.
Man, I need to play Starfinder 2 more. I gotta run Wheel of Monsters again.
You know what? If you decide to run that online, whether on stream or off stream, if you're patient with a newbie, I might be down to join.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Wheel of Monsters is a baby adventure based around an in-universe death game that is like on TV, where you just play Wheel of Monsters, where you just get into a bunch of arenas, and well, different random monsters show up and try to fight you.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. If you need someone to fill in a slot on that, give me a ring up. Like I ain't doing nothing. I'm unemployed. Fuck it. I'm living on a fixed income. Let's do this.
I think that's all I really wanted to show today. Now I think about it. Just all the basics of everything.
Yeah, you know, I'm intrigued.
It's already almost 5 o'clock. Ooh.
Yeah, this is like an hour short for my usual streams, but like if this is where you want to end things off, like we could go ahead and raid into somebody.
Sure.
Yeah. So give me an excuse to play. I literally picked up a new gotcha game yesterday because it was full of body horror monsters as the enemies. It was like,
I'm not gonna show him Numeria. Fuck Numeria.
big titted waifus and body horror monsters. I'm sold. That's like my two favorite things. Yeah, so let's see who is live at this hour. Who would like to get a raid? I do see my friend Sakichu has gone live for some just chatting. Let's see. I think she's going to wrap up soon, actually. It looks like she's wrapping up. Oh, let's find someone who isn't ending their stream. I'm going to find somebody eventually. Oh, you know what? We've got one adorable goblin with us. Why don't we raid into another goblin? Because we have Har the Harplin live right now. Zip, over here on Twitch, we are going to raid into Har. You guys are going to love her. She is a adorable goblin jester. And Phoebe, thank you again so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun with you, and you've got me genuinely, really, really interested in Pathfinder.
Yay.
Yeah, we definitely need to do some more Pathfinder content together sometime. You know, maybe something where I do a little bit of the work so that I'm not forcing all the work on you this next time. But yep, you guys all have a lovely day. I'll be seeing y'all here, same bar time, same bar channel tomorrow for more Amnesia the Bunker. Until then, ciao.